Welcome to the Dubuque Fighting Saints broadcast network as the Saints take on the Fargo Force in the 2024 Clark Cup Final.
Seamus picks up, Saints scoop to center. Noah drops back, Sondrell working into the offensive zone, right wing, legs moving, stops on the far hash marks, falls down, tries to pass back to Jubenville. He muscles it down low, cuts to the front, the shot, he scores! Jaden Jubenville in overtime. The Saints lead the Eastern Conference Final 1-0.
Tonight, the Saints take the ice in search of their 6th Clark Cup championship.
Puck left in the corner behind the Muskegon net. The Dubuque Fighting Saints have taken the Eastern Conference title. They're headed to play for a Clark Cup.
Now it's time for Dubuque Fighting Saints hockey in the Clark Cup Final. Here's Josh Starr.
From Imon Arena in Dubuque, Iowa, tonight in a Clark Cup Final Game 3, the first Clark Cup Final game in Dubuque since 2016. The Dubuque Fighting Saints look to extend their season at least another night in Game 3 against the Fargo Force. The Saints fell in the first 2 games. They come home. And, well, when we talk to head coach Kirk McDonald later on in the pregame show, he'll tell you all the Saints really need to do is win the home games and take one on the road. That was the mindset coming in, and that is still available to the Saints. That's the mindset they are coming into this game with. Just win the home games, and they are going to be doing that tonight, trying to do that in front of a sold-out Imon Arena. Welcome into the Dubuque Fighting Saints broadcast network. My name is Josh Starr. The Fighting Saints, well, it's the first time they've faced elimination this season. They're down 2-0 in this series, but they aren't too upset with the way they've played in this series. They feel like just a little couple mistakes have really been the difference in the first 2 games. They're excited to be home, and they are ready to try and get back in this series. They don't consider themselves out of this thing at all yet. In Game 2, the Saints got more pressure on net than they did in Game 1. They only had 23 shots in the first game. Game 2, 33 shots on Hampton Slukinski, who has been the difference maker so far in this series for Fargo. He's made some big stops in this series. The Saints, they lost the first one 3-1, the second one 6-3. They had more chances to score more goals than that. Slukinski, unbelievable so far in this series, and the Fighting Saints are going to look to solve him and get some more pressure on him tonight here in Game 3. Saints on the power play in this series 0 for 3. They scored first again for the 7th time in 9 playoff games in Game 2, but it was a 30-second span at the end of the first period in Game 2. Fargo scored twice and took the momentum back from Dubuque. Saints looking to start fast and hold the momentum throughout this contest. We'll talk to Kirk McDonald a little bit about momentum in just a few minutes here on the pregame show. We'll go with the special teams report here. The Chick-fil-A power play. It was the best in the USHL in the regular season, 31.5%. But Fargo had the best PK in the regular season in the USHL, 86.2% in the regular season. And coming into this series, 7 of 8 kills. Now 3 for 3 in this series. Saints are going to look to try and solve that on the Chick-fil-A power play. The Fighting Saints penalty kill all season long was brought to you by Crawford North. Each time the Fighting Saints were successful on the PK in the regular season, Crawford North made a donation to One Goal. One Goal's mission is to provide fun, affordable training and equipment to youth hockey players and continue the growth of hockey in Dubuque. Well, the Saints PK, for the first time all postseason, gave up a goal in Game 2. They're 3 for 4 in this series, and they're 14 for 15 overall in the postseason after finishing just behind Fargo at 84% in the regular season. Crawford North, Dubuque's premier provider for HVAC services, welded fabrication, and plumbing. They offer commercial and residential services for all your service needs. The Fighting Saints in Great Clips on a mission to get back to vets in our community this season. For each save one of the Fighting Saints goaltenders made during the regular season, Great Clips made a donation to the Veterans Freedom Center on Kerper Boulevard. 1,615 saves in the regular season for Fighting Saints goaltenders. And, well, for the first time all playoffs, Kevin Raylor gave up more than 3 goals on Saturday in Fargo in Game 2. He was 23 of 28, but he's been outstanding in the playoffs. The Saints are expecting nothing different tonight from their number 1 goaltender, who has been outstanding in the postseason with a .933 save percentage. Great clips. It's going to be great. When we come back on the pregame show, we'll talk to head coach Kirk McDonald about what the Saints need to do, what they've done well, and what winning tonight does for this series. We'll be right back here in Dubuque on the Fighting Saints pregame show.
We are back on the Fighting Saints pregame show ahead of Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final, joined by head coach Kirk McDonald. Kirk, you said all year 3-3s are just throughout the season. You can't win 3 in this series until you get the first one. What do you guys need to change from the first 2 games from this series into tonight?
Yeah, I think we play pretty well. It's tough this time of year. It's going to come down to a bounce here or there. I think we've had probably a 2-minute stretch both nights in games 1 and 2 that, let us down, or we just didn't execute, whatever you want to call it. But, we're just focusing on today. I think we can be a little bit more aggressive. We're not a passive team. Our gaps and our hunting of pucks can be better from the tops of the circles in each end. And I think if we do that, it's going to lend itself to more offense, us able to play quicker. I think we've been a little waiting for something to happen instead of making something happen. So, I think we're going to come up with a good effort tonight. It's going to be a great crowd. We're excited. I know the guys are ready, and just can't wait for 7 o'clock.
What are the things that you've seen from your team in the first 2 games that you like, that you want to see them keep doing?
Yeah, our effort's been great. I think we've defended really well, especially in the D zone. We've kept a lot to the perimeter. We've taken care of pucks. They've been really low event games, which you're gonna probably expect to happen in the finals. Like I said, we can be just a little bit more opportunistic, I think, and harder around the net. But our intentions have been really good. It's come down basically to one shot every game, and we've been on the wrong end of it. We're going to come out here tonight. We're going to try and be on the right end of it.
What does being at home do to change things in this series?
Obviously, we get last line change. I think that helps. We're not a big line matching team, but that being said, maybe it's a certain face-off or whatever that we want to get guys out there for. So that helps, and quite frankly, standing room only crowd. We'll feed off the energy. I know the guys will be juiced when they come out for pregame introductions, and doesn't get any better than this, in my opinion.
You said you like, for the most part, the way the team has played. except for just a few things. How do you keep the belief up in the team after playing well and still being down 2-0?
Yeah, I mean, life's not fair sometimes. Like, should we have probably come up with a split? Probably, but didn't happen. So we just, like we talked about all week, like, I've been on the other end of it. My last series in Reading, I was up 3-1 with home ice advantage, and we lost Game 7 at home. It's basically the same situation. Like, we're focused on tonight and try and, momentum's a funny thing. Like, we try and build a little tonight, get a victory, and we'll come back tomorrow. Like, I know it's a best of 5, so it's kind of a dumb thing to say, but you're not in trouble till you lose at home, right? And in a best of 5 like this, like, it's true, right? We just got to win a road game somewhere. They don't ask which one, and we're going to try and take care of the game tonight on home ice, and then, hopefully, we just want to come to the rink for, today's Friday. There's 4 more days we can come to the rink after today, and I think that's for us what we want to do, and we want to keep hanging out together and as long as possible.
All right. Well, thanks, Kirk. Saints at home tonight in the Clark Cup Final. We'll be right back.
The Fighting Saints and Progressive Processing are proud to bring you the Hormel Completes Complete Game Challenge. When your Fighting Saints during the regular season won the game, outshot their opponent, and won the special teams battle to complete the challenge, Progressive Processing and Hormel made donations to local food pantries throughout Dubuque. 22 complete games during the regular season for the Saints, and, well, another one tonight, that would for sure extend the season at least another day. Find your perfect job today by visiting ProgressiveProcessingJobs.com. Dubuque Screw Products is the proud founding partner of the One Goal Mission. One Goal's mission is to provide fun, affordable training and equipment to youth hockey players and continue the growth of hockey in Dubuque. For each goal scored by the Fighting Saints during the regular season, Dubuque Screw Products made a donation to the Dubuque Youth Hockey Association with the goal of growing the sport of hockey in Dubuque. 271 goals in the regular season, second most in the league, just one behind Fargo during the regular season. And, well, Saints looking to get more traffic in front, more pressure, as they did in Game 2, but just need to try and bear down and bury some of those chances. Dubuque Screw Products, world-class precision machining. The lineups for Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. We'll start with the Fargo Force. At center, starting off, is Gavin Morrissey. He takes a lot of face-offs, and he wins a lot of face-offs for Fargo. Saints have to try and find a way to match him in the face-off dot tonight. Max Swanson, the playoffs leading point scorer with 16. in 10 games is on the left wing, Lee Parks on the right. Zam Plant will center Michael Lastarza and Brandon Svoboda. Jake Fisher between Eero Hagarainen and Harper Bentz. Tom Lepa, 2 goals in game 2, rounds it out down the middle with Merrill Stenari on the left, Reed Davatilla on the right. He had 4 assists in game 2. Peter Cesar is the extra forward. On the back end, Brazen Bozer starts with Michael Quinn. Michael Newmeyer next to Leo Gruba. Finn McLaughlin and Tate Taylor, and then Eddie Revenig is the extra defenseman. Hampton Slukinski gets the start in goal for the Fargo Force. He's played both games in this series. Game 1, he was 22 of 23. Game 2, 30 of 33. He's been a difference maker in this series. He's made saves on Saints grade A chances. They need to find a way to make it hard for him and beat him when they get those opportunities here in Game 3. Anton Castro is the backup from the head coach, Brett Skinner. For the Dubuque Fighting Saints, Jake Sondrial, the captain of the team, the leader. He starts it off at center. Michael Barron moving up to this line. On the left wing, Jay Reeder on the right. Eric Paulson will center Uri Pekarchik on the left, Beckett Hendrickson on the right. Pekarchik, the Saints' leading scorer in the playoffs with 9 points. Charlie Aaron, an insane goal in game 2. He centers the third line. Gavin Cornforth on his left. Noah Powell on the right there. Teddy Merrill back in after serving a suspension in game 2. Nick Romeo on the left wing. Andrew King on the right. And Colin Frank is the extra forward. On the back end, Jona Väisänen and Fisher Scott start. Lucas St. Louis with Luke Malbuff. Seamus Powell and Jaden Jubenville. Caleb Dick is the extra defenseman. Kevin Radler in his 10th playoff game. He's 6-3, 933 save percentage, 1.73 goals against, 3 shutouts. Made 23 saves in game 2, and he is back between the pipes tonight in game 3. Dylan Johnson, the backup from the head coach, Kirk McDonald. Tonight's wellness report is brought to you by River Bluff CBD, the premier name in CBD products in Illinois. Out of the lineup tonight, Matt Desiderio and Josh Giuliani. River Bluff CBD aims to provide you with the best quality CBD product on either side of the Mississippi River. Help reduce the stigma in our community. Well, the Fighting Saints, their backs are against the wall, but they're happy to be home, and they're looking to extend this season. It's Game 3 of the 2024 Clark Cup Final, and it's next. From I'm On Arena in Dubuque, Iowa tonight, the Dubuque Fighting Saints look to extend their season at home in the Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. Welcome into the Dubuque Fighting Saints broadcast network. The backs are against the wall, but this Saints team believes, and they are set to play at home for the first time in this series. Tonight's broadcast is driven by Finn and Ford and Kia, the official vehicles of your Fighting Saints. Stop by their locations off Highway 20 as Finn and Ford and Kia aim to change the perception of car buying. Quick, comfy, and fun. Finnin, Ford and Kia. You're winning with Finnin. We will send it downstairs now for the national anthem ahead of Game 3.
To the flag as Ron Lubers performs tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All set for Game 3 of the 2024 Clark Cup Final. We welcome Jim Leitner to the broadcast. Jim, the Saints are down. They do not feel like they're out. What do they need to do to get back in this series?
Well, I thought they played very well in the first two games. Just a matter of a couple minutes in both games that really ended up costing them. So continue to play the way you did. No reason to reinvent yourself or do anything differently. Play the same way you did. Just focus for the whole 60 minutes, and I think we'll be in good shape.
The Saints in this first period, the first Clark Cup game in Dubuque since 2016, will head left to right in their white sweaters. The Clark Cup patches are on, and the Saints looking to win at home and extend this season. Fargo right to left in all black. In this opening frame, the officials, the referees, Dylan Cedar and Ryan Siegel, the linesmen, Odin Nelson and Joshua Rosenbaum. It's Jake Sondriel and it's Gavin Morrissey set to start us off in Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. They are ready to go. The Saints looking to stay alive in this season. Sondriel and Morrissey, the puck is down, and we are underway in Game 3. Fargo takes the opening draw, right to left. They rattle it all the way in deep behind the Saints net. Bisonen plays up the near wall, and Reeder will take it off the half wall, start the Saints ahead. Long stretch pass out of the air. It's past Barron and goes for icing against Dubuque. 17 seconds into this one. No score, and the faceoff will come back into the Saints end for the first time in this contest.
If you're the Fighting Saints, you want to get that first shift out of the way, that first big hit, get your blood flowing, get into the hockey game, and and then you can settle down and get to work.
The Saints in Game 2, a lot more rubber on net than they had in Game 1. They're looking to continue that, but they want to get more traffic in front when they get those chances and make it a lot harder for Hampton Slukinski, who was the USHL goaltender of the year, and he's been phenomenal in this series, especially against the Saints' top-tier chances in this series. Fargo won the draw. It popped to center, and then the Force wrap right back in. Saints left to right. Tip through the neutral zone. Goes all the way down the ice. Slukinski out of the net. Far wing plays up the near wall. Saints pick it off on the half court. Reeder pumps it back in behind the net. 35 seconds into the first period in Game 3. Saints in the offensive zone can't hold on. Fargo will flip to center, rolling all the way down the ice. Jubinville behind his own net, takes a hit from Swanson, lost it, puck comes up the boards, Parks spins it back in behind. Seamus Powell across the far wing, tips it forward, the Saints drop back and then work free in the corner. Sondriel, 55 seconds into game 3 in his own end, plays up the boards, Newmeyer keeps in on the near wall, Saints end to the left, Davatilla down to the corner for Tom Leppa. These two were dangerous in game 2. Leppa 2 goals, Davatilla 4 assists. They play back to the point, early in the first, no score. Newmeyer left point, near wall, flips it down the boards, all the way around to the right wing. Gruba leaves it there, it comes to the point. Stenari back to the right circle, the shot, it hit a body in front, that was Leppa, turned back in, and it goes wide from Davatilla. Seamus up the near wall for Reeder, and he scoops to center. Knuckling puck, bounces to the Fargo line. 90 seconds in, Fargo with the first extended zone time of this contest. Leppa picks up in center, knocks it in deep, Saints end to the left. Radler out of the net, both teams in the middle of changing lines. Saints turn it over behind the net, bounces in front, it's loose, and then the shot blocked by Seamus, pops up in the air, bounces to the far corner, Plant to the point, 1:45 in, no score first period. Bozer left side, he'll flip it toward the net, kicked aside to the corner by Radler. Puck goes in back, Plant spins it in front, King intercepts, he'll start the Saints ahead, left to right. Romeo on the far wing, into the offensive zone, chips it in back. King chases behind the net, leaves it behind, hit Romeo in the skate, bounces free, turned over by Fargo to the point, St. Louis the shot, it tipped off something, hit Romeo, bounces to the corner, and then Fargo will start ahead. Svoboda, checked by King, does scoop the center, but the Saints pick up there. 2:15 in, this crowd is loud tonight so far, sold out in game 3 in Dubuque. Puck bounces around the boards, back to center, Eric Paulson out for the first time tonight, picks up at his own line, left to right. King back to Paulson, flying into the zone, splits toward the slot, and then it was tipped away from him. Lastarza knuckles to center, Saints back for it there. 2.5 into the first, no score. Game 3, Saints down 2-0 in this series. It's back to the Saints blue line. They find there, flip forward, left wing, Pekarchik, the Saints leading point scorer in the playoffs, all the way around behind the net, tipped away from him on the near wall. Swanson leaves it free for Taylor behind his own net. He plays to the far wall. Saints pick up there. It pops past Paulson, though, and Parks will flip to center. 3 minutes into the first period. Shots 2-1 in favor of the Force. It's scoreless so far in Dubuque. Saints back on home ice looking to keep this season alive. Left wing, Paulson into the zone. Flips on net, easily swept aside by Slukinski. Puck up the left wing boards. Scott takes a hit on the far hash marks. He can't hold on. It's behind the net. Morrissey lost it to Hendrickson briefly. Then Pekarchik forces free. It still moves up the wall, and Swanson will start ahead. To center for Morrissey. Across the Saints line, Scott intercepts the space from Morrissey and leaves the puck behind for Vizenen to start the Saints head. 3.5 in. They fly ahead. Left to right. Cornforth across the line. Leaves back for Scott. Left circle. He'll snap. It was blocked by Gruba in front and goes to the far wall. Picked up by Parks. He'll flip it all the way down. That will be icing against Fargo. 3:45 into the first. No score. A really quick pace so far in this one. And both teams getting some time in the offensive end.
It's still a feeling out process. You know, obviously this is game 3, obviously, but they haven't played since last Saturday. So you want to get that blood going. You want to get that feeling out process out of the way.
Charlie Aaron hops out. This line was really good. Aaron was with Barron and Cornforth in the game 2 loss, but Aaron scored a sensational goal for the Saints in the third period. They're out now. It's Cornforth, Aaron, and Noah Powell. They can't win the draw, though. It's Fargo to center. Parks will shovel in, and he heads off for a change. Kalen Bick behind his own net, plays up the wall. Charlie Aaron will start ahead. He has Cornforth at the red line. He pumps in deep. Left to right, 4 minutes into the first, still scoreless in game 3. Puck left in the far corner. Cornforth laid a hit behind the net. Then Powell crunches Leppa to the wall, but the puck still comes to center. Davatilla check there. Saints pick up in the neutral zone. Right wing feet. Jubinville trying to catch up into the offensive end. He dropped back, but Leppa intercepted that. Then flipped it ahead. It hit the Fargo bench. And a whistle. 4:20 into the first. No score. Jim, so far, what do you think? It's been a fast game so far. Not a ton of really good chances, but both teams have had some time.
They have, and they both gotten good looks at the net, too. So, I mean, I think it's a fast-paced game. I don't know if both teams are going to want to maintain this pace for the whole 60 minutes, but entertaining so far. A lot of end-to-end action. So, just what the fans paid for getting in there tonight.
Sondriel, Reeder, Barron back out there in the offensive end to the right. Near circle, no score, 4:20 into the first, game 3. Reeder taking the draw against Leppa. It's chipped off the glass and bounces to center. Fargo won the draw, back all the way into the Saints end. Luke Malbuff up the boards. It's bounces by Davatilla. The Saints spin to center, but Fargo will take back over inside its own line. Right to left, the Fargo Force in all black. Dump into the Saints end. High off the end glass, it comes up the near wall. Barron leaves it. It goes up toward the neutral zone, and then it does pop there, but Bentz will bank it right back in. Reeder back in his own end as Fisher right on, and Reeder leaves it up the wall. St. Louis kicked it ahead, but couldn't get out. Reeder has it back along the far boards. 5 minutes into the first period in game 3, no score. Saints trying to come back from a 2-0 series deficit. They find the puck, chip it in deep. Sondriel chases after it with Bozer behind the Fargo net to the right. It's loose, comes up the wall. Fisher Scott in from the point for the Saints on the left wing. Turns back up top, and it was blocked by Fisher, who will scoop to center off the wall and back into the Saints end. Väisänen holds on in his own end, twirls out of a check, and looks to move ahead. Saints in center with Teddy Merrill. He'll chip it in deep and chase after it to the right. Merrill lays the hit on Bozer. The puck free to the corner, comes up the wall. King forces it along the boards, but can't hold on for the Saints. 5.5 in, first period, no score. Lastarza right to left, sealed off in front of the Dubuque bench at the blue line, but Svoboda in to pick up the puck. He'll muscle in on the left wing, all the way around behind the net. Leaves it in back for Plant, who chases to the near corner and banks to the point. Left point, Newmeyer D2D for Gruba. Right side, his knuckle on goal. It's gloved by Radler. He holds on. 5:51 into the first period. The Saints and the Force, a quick pace so far in game 3. It's scoreless, 5:51 in.
Finnin, 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 finnin. You're winning with Finnin. When you drive away in a Finnin car, you're winning with Finnin. And you're always treated like a superstar. You're winning with Finnin. We take pride in customer loyalty. We're leaders in the community. So come on down and you will see. Finnin, Finnin, Finnin. You're winning with Finnin. Finnin.
Well, if you couldn't make it to the game tonight or didn't get your chance to get a ticket before this thing sold out, or you're listening from the stands tonight, maybe you are, Game 4, should the Saints win this one tomorrow night, as soon as this game ends, tickets will go on sale. You can buy them here at the box office or on DubuqueFightingSaints.com for tomorrow's Game 4, if necessary. 5:51 into the first period here in Game 3. No score, but a quick pace so far.
No question about it. Both teams are really feeling it right now. Fargo obviously wants to close this out and make the trip back to home of Fargo tonight, but obviously the Fighting Saints want to extend their season, and they're playing with a lot of urgency right now.
Saints are in their own end. A defensive zone draw, they can't win it. Gruba on the left point near wing. He'll sift it to the corner. Jubenville there first, whacks up the wall. Hendrickson trying to muscle to center, and the Saints do get it there, but Pekarchik blew a tire. He's able to stand up, pick it up, and then feed forward into the zone. It's picked up in deep by Fargo, and Gruba will start right to left. 6:10 into the first period. No score in Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. Fargo leads this series 2-0. This the first game in Dubuque. Fargo forces a turnover in center. Gruba to the left wing for Swanson. He couldn't quite handle it. Left wing, he does move it to the corner wall. Wrapped back up to the right point. It's Gruba shifting along the blue line, and then he takes it out to center with Pekarchik right on his back. 13.5 to go in the first. Gruba flips right back in deep. The Saints pick up in their own net. Left to right, Seamus ahead. It's kicked by Aaron. He couldn't handle it, but Pekarchik does take over in center. Dances into the zone, tried to power his way through, but it was stopped, and then St. Louis lays it. Powell will scoop it down the wall. Taylor there behind his net, leaves for Quinn, and just about 7 minutes into the first, Fargo will move right to left towards center. Back in their own zone on the drop pass, the Saints intercept the outlet at center. Cornforth on the far wall. At the red line, starts up the left wing into the offensive zone. Powell keeps the leg on side, and he chases the dump in from Cornforth behind the net. Noah works free, banks to the right point. Malbuff off the wall from there. Back down the right wing, top of the circle. Noah cutting toward the slot, shifts back to the right. 12:45 left in the first. Cross ice feed, left circle. St. Louis, the shot! He missed it high over the bar. Bounces back to the right point. Malbuff back down the wall. It's kicked off of Powell and bounces back to center ice. Fargo right to left into the Saints end with 12:28 to go in the first period. Scoreless. St. Louis dumps behind the Saints net. The puck underneath him, and the Saints are digging away behind their own net trying to work free. St. Louis gets up, and he does have the puck in the corner. Turning back into traffic, flips to the near wing, and Malbuff there. Left to right, Saints try to move to center. It's kicked by Aaron and in to the offensive end. Just over 12 to play in the first period of Game 3. No score. in this one. Fargo with a 2-0 series lead as the Force pick up in their own zone and will work backward. Newmeyer across ice. On the left wing, Bozer to center, right to left. It's dumped into the Saints end. Tip from center, Svoboda and Vizinen race after it. Vizinen tip free, it bounces to the side, and then Radler covers up with a blocker. He gets jabbed at. The puck comes free, but the whistle does blow as a small crowd gathers next to Radler's net. And nothing really coming of that with 11:47 to go in the first period, scoreless in game 3.
The first real hint of any extracurriculars. There really wasn't a lot of that the last 2 games up in Fargo, but I think both teams understand what's at stake here. The last thing you want to do is take an undisciplined penalty and give your other opponent a power play, especially this early in the game where it's still scoreless.
Both of these teams have been really disciplined all season long. And that has really continued for the most part in this series. There haven't been a ton of special teams chances either way. Saints in their own zone win the draw, and Michael Barron shovels in on the backhand. Slukinski out of the net to the right, plays up the wall. Sondriel almost held on, and then he forced it back down low. In behind the net, he feeds in front. It goes all the way back up top, right point. Vizinen holds on near wing. He'll flip it to the side of the net. It bounces in behind. Saints try to dig free. It's Gruba coming away with it in the corner. Then he lost it to Sondriel. Reeder in front, but it was chopped out to center by the Force. Saints back to their own end. 11:15 to play in the first. No score in game 3. Left to right, Scott to center. Reeder leaves for Sondriel left wing. Back to Reeder right into the zone, and his shot from the high slot was off a Fargo stick up and out of play. 11:08 to play in the first. Scoreless in game 3, but both teams have had some chances, and this has been a little bit more free-flowing than the first 2 games were so far.
Yeah, no question. I think that's both teams had an opportunity to get a feel for their opponent in the first 2 games. So there's no surprises coming in tonight. So I'm sure they're a lot better prepared for tonight. But again, it's just a matter of breaking free and getting that first one and getting some momentum going.
Paulson in the offensive zone against Morrissey. Morrissey's been so good on draws in this series. Saints trying to take a few from him. Winning some in the offensive end would go a long way. Paulson does win this one to the point. Dick across the blue line, center point. Shot, and it's sticked away by Slukinski off the end glass. Pekarchik gloves down, leaves it in behind the net. Bozer in some traffic trying to get by Hendrickson. He leaves it across behind the cage, and Quinn will move it ahead. Tipped to center by Fargo. Saints pick back up. Right wing feed on the near board. Hendrickson tips it past the Fargo line, but it's moved right back to center. Saints swarm there, but then can't hold on. Morrissey right to left. Into the Saints end. Far wing. Parks, top of the circle. A shot. Kicked down by Radler. Rebound. It goes wide into the corner. Sheamus in behind the net. Tries to chop free. It's Dick in the corner who comes away with it up the wall. Swanson picks it off. Bozer. D-to-D on the right side for Quinn. Top of the zone. It's tipped by Pekarchik. Then Caleb Dick finds, and Hendrickson will eventually be able to move it to center. Paulson tries to lay a hit in the neutral zone, but the Saints can't get in deep. 10:16 to play in the first. Swanson holds on in the neutral zone. Right to left, he feeds into the Saints end. Davatilla side of the net. The shot kicked away by Radler, bouncing up to the near wall, and the net came off as a couple of players crashed in there off the shot from Davatilla. 10:07 to play in the first. Scoreless, and Radler with a couple stops on the last shift or two to keep this thing scoreless, and the Saints will have a draw on their own end here.
And you don't want to get caught cheating, looking for an opportunity offensively and leave your back door wide open for an odd man rush the other way. So you're going to see a little bit more conservative play out of both teams, I believe, because that first goal is so huge.
Saints have scored first in 7 of their 9 playoff games. They didn't score first in game 1. They did in game 2, but they gave up 2 really late in the first period after they went up 1-0. And Kurt McDonald kind of saying that's where he feels like the momentum of the game really changed. Saints win the draw. Romeo skips the center into the offensive zone, looking in front for Frank, turning, firing. He missed it wide. The pass was tipped. It was a little behind him. St. Louis picks up in the corner and swings it in behind the net. It bounces off the wall, and Gruba will play it down the ice. No icing as it rolls back into the Saints end. Malbuff goes back with Svoboda. They cancel out, and they battle in the corner looking for the puck. Merrill and Plant in as well. 9:40 to go in the opening frame of game 3. Saints end to the left. It's scoreless in this one so far. The battle along the far corner wall in the Saints end continues. three aside. It pops free for Fargo. To the point. Gruba across the blue line. Newmeyer back to the right wing for Gruba. He walks to the left, feeds back to the top of the right circle, and then the cross-ice feed back to Gruba as the defenseman play catch. The launch from Lastarza goes over the net. Saints pick up with Romeo. It's batted to center, and then Merrill will clap it in to the Fargo end. 9:10 to play in the first. No score. Fargo right to left. Gruba to the neutral zone out of his own end. Weaves to the left and then peels back into his own end. Across ice for Newmeyer, and it is played up the wall in center. The Saints try to force free. They do. Sondriel left wing. Tips it into the offensive zone. Feeds Reeder left circle. Looking across ice for Barron, who is stripped. Back in front. Tipped on. Saved by Slukinski, and he covers up the rebound. Somehow, in a ton of traffic, Reeder got that puck to Sondriel, who redirected it on goal. Slukinski made the left pad save and covered it up right in front. That's probably the Saints' best chance of the night so far. 8:46 left in the first. It's still scoreless in Game 3.
Finnin, 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 finnin. You're winning with Finnin. When you drive away in a Finnin car, you're winning with Finnin. And you're always treated like a superstar. You're winning with Finnin. We take pride in customer loyalty. We're leaders in the community. So come on down and you will see. Finnin, Finnin, Finnin. You're winning with Finnin. Finnin.
Tonight's broadcast on Eagle 102.3 is presented by Michelin in Piazza. Josh Starr with Jim Leitner. Jim, that chance right before the break, that's something the Saints are trying to do more of. Make it hard and cause some havoc in front of Slukinski and get some of those pucks to sneak by him.
And absolutely. The problem with the Force is they got a lot of big bodies in front of the net. And, you know, you look at the defenseman from our angle, the defenseman trying to get a shot on net. There's no shooting lane at all. You don't see any net because the Force really block a lot of the net in front of them. So it's going to be tough. Maybe get a rebound goal or get an ugly one. And I think that's what you got to do. But you do have to go to the greasy area to score.
Well, this line stays out after the timeout. 8:46 to go in the first. No score in Game 3. Sondriel, offensive end to the right. Far circle against Tom Lepa. They drop the puck. Sondriel wins back to the point cleanly. Scott jets down the wall all the way in behind the net, trying to wrap toward the front. It has Barron. The shot on goal. Saved by Slukinski. Scott wrapped around, fed across the crease, and Barron was there to whack it on, but Slukinski anticipated and slid across to stop it and prevent a rebound chance. 8:37 left in the first. Still scoreless in Game 3.
Really like the way that Fisher Scott activated on that play, pinched in, and took the puck around the net, creating a great scoring opportunity.
Sondriel and Lepa again on the far circle. Fargo end to the right. Saints and Force both with 5 shots each in this first period. The goaltenders have stopped all of them. Saints win the drop backward, but it bounces around, and Fargo flips the center. Into the Saints end off the near wall. It's Stenari carrying into the corner. Feeds all the way back up to the point. Taylor in from the right side. Filters back down low. Hit the official in the corner. Vines in and picks up. Then he lost it. Lepa in behind the Saints net. Works in along to the near wall. Then he's sealed off by Visenen. Saints scoop up the boards, but Taylor in from the point for Fargo. Pumps back down low. Visenen takes it from behind the net. Banks ahead. The Saints tip it in the air, and it's gloved down by Reeder. He's flying up the left wing into the offensive zone. Cross ice for Sondriel. High slot, the rip. It hit Barron in front and bounced to the corner and swept to center by Fargo. 8 to play in the first. No score. The Saints trying to get a transition chance there, and Barron trying to provide a screen. It hit him in front. Fargo picks up in its own end, right to left. Bozer cross ice deep into the Saints end. It's Seamus behind the net. He's upended, and there's no call. The Saints bench up in arms, but Noah Powell does find the puck and starts forward. Right wing into the offensive zone. The Saints are offside. Cornforth beat Powell into the zone there. 7:33 left in the first. No score. Neutral zone draw coming up.
Well, they're going to let him play, but the problem with that is, you know, if Seamus gets tripped up there, it could have led to an opportunity for Fargo to score there. So, I mean, I agree with letting them play, but if it's going to lead to a good scoring chance, you can't allow that to go.
Aaron in the neutral zone against Fisher. 7:33 left in the first. No score. Aaron Game 3. Fargo leads the series 2-0. Saints at home, looking to keep the season alive tonight. Left to right, Jubenville rattles in deep. It's Cornforth on the left wing, leaving it back toward the point. Seamus in from the point, keeps in, bounces to the circle. Cornforth settles, turns, fires, saved by Slukinski. Rebound pump to the point. Seamus keeps in, lofts it back toward the net. It's loose in front, blocked by Newmeyer. He kicks it to the wall, and then Hakkarainen plays to center. Saints back at it at their own blue line, left to right. Aaron on the far wing weaves it into the zone for Noah. Head up, feeds toward Cornforth. He tried to pass back across the front, and it was blocked before it could get to Aaron. Quinn picks up behind his own net. Noah Powell right on him. Saints really aggressive so far in this one, trying to get the forecheck going, but Fargo does move this one to center. 6:48 to play in the first. Sam Plant falls down in the neutral zone. The Saints pick up and move back in offensive end. Cornforth behind the net. Shields the puck away from Gruba in the corner, low to high. Noah on the left point. He'll shoot, and it was tipped wide. Paulson in behind the net, trying to work free with Gruba. They battle. Gruba kicks free, and in the corner, he'll skate ahead with the puck on his backhand across ice for Plant. He moves towards center, right to left. Left wing feed for Swanson into the Saints end. Dick steps up to him. It's turned toward the circles. Loose there. Saints cancel a force player, and then Dubuque picks up the puck. Hendrickson, left wing feed. Pekarchik takes it off the wall, over skates, back to it on the far boards, and leaves to the corner for Hendrickson. Tips back toward Pekarchik. Centering feed block, back to the point. St. Louis in from there, swings cross ice. Paulson takes off the near wall. He'll leave it into the corner for Pekarchik on the cycle. Bottom of the near circle. Force end to the right, 6 to play in a scoreless first. Pekarchik chips toward the front. St. Louis in from the point, takes over right circle, leaves back up top. Pekarchik on the back end, quickly across, and then Dick's cross ice feed, block, flip to center. Parks racing into the Saints end, 2-on-1 with Swanson. Parks back across from Swanson. It was blocked by Dick. The Saints play ahead, and Hendrickson sweeps to center. 5:35 left in the first. No score. Kalen Dick, a huge intervention there on a 9-man rush. St. Louis back behind his own net. Tries to skate in front. It bounces around loose. They jab away. Rayler makes the stop, and it's turned to the wall. Saints turn that puck over right next to their net, but they survive as Pekarchik takes the center and bounces it in on Slukinski. 5 1/4 left in the first. No score. Some chances on both ends so far in this first period. Saints pick up in the neutral zone. King is dumped. Visinen plays ahead. It hits King. He leaves it free in the neutral zone. It's in his skates, bounces back, and then Merrill will bank it ahead. Icing waved off. Left to right, it's deep in to the Fargo end. King lays the hit in the corner, but Bozer plays up the wall for Lastarza, who was stripped by Merrill. Back down the boards. Saints pick up on the right wing. Andrew King skates into the corner, sealed into the wall. Frank tries to dig free, but the Saints can't hold on. It swings out to center. Plant and Visinen race for it at the Saints line. Visinen wins that race and picks forward. Saints left wing. It's King slicing into the zone in deep, chasing after it in the corner. It's in his skates. He turns around, kicks it to the wall. Frank there, working low to high to the point for Scott. Walks the line, right wing feed. Visinen on the near half wall. Turns there, falls down, but still picks up the puck and swings it in behind the net. Bozer up the far side. Merrill picks that off. 4 1/4 left. Down low in the corner. King has it hop over his stick, and then Bozer picks up, and he'll backhand forward. Davatilla stopped along the point. Saints keep in for the moment. Cornforth trying to dig it off the wall. Then it was stripped. In front of the net, Newmeyer has it for Fargo, and he'll start forward right to left. Leppa with 4 minutes to go in the first, no score. Into the Saints end, Scott intervenes, plays up the wall. Noah trying to chase after it before it gets to Newmeyer. He couldn't get there. Newmeyer back down the wall. Davatilla takes it from there, left toward the right wing, and Gruba's shot trickles just wide of the net off the end wall. Hakkarainen low to high. Newmeyer on the near point to the left. He'll flip it on, deflected by Leppa, saved by Radler. Seamus picks it up, chips it off the glass, glove down by Gruba in center. Aaron knocks it free for Noah into the offensive zone. Check from behind, then sandwiched by 2 Force players, and Gruba will pick up. 3:23 left in the first. No score as Fargo moves right to left. It's Bentz chipping into the Saints end to the left. Jubenville in behind the net. He and Bentz cancel. The puck pops to the corner wall. Far wing, Hakkarainen to the point. Taylor right point across the blue line for Quinn. Back to Taylor on the right. He shoots, and it hits Kevin Radler in front and stays out of the net. Radler didn't seem like he felt that puck. It may have deflected off someone else in front and stays out for a whistle. 3:04 to go in the first. No score.
Again, great end-to-end action both ways, and some nice defensive plays, nice defensive coverage for both teams, and that's really why we're sitting here at 0-0.
Kurt McDonald said he's really loved the way his team has kept all of the Fargo chances mostly to the perimeter, except for the odd man rushes. It's been that way mostly so far tonight. 7 shots apiece, 3:04 to go in the first, no score. Face-off, Saints end to the left. Sandrial wins cleanly against Morrissey, and the Saints flip to center, but it's pumped right back in. Seamus picks up, that's Jubinville. Across for Seamus. The Saints through center. Reeder couldn't tip it, and it goes for icing against Dubuque. 2:53 to play in the first, no score. And they'll head back into the Saints end to the left.
No harm on that. I think the Fighting Saints are fresh off a line change anyway, so it's not like they're going to have tired legs out there, but Fargo is opting to switch up lines here.
Saints in their own end. 2:53 to play in the first, no score. It's Sandrial and Morrissey in the Dubuque end, near circle to the left. This time won by Morrissey. Left point, Taylor hammers it in behind the net. Seamus steps to the corner, wins it for the Saints, and ahead, Reeder chops towards center. Turn back to the Saints line, and in the zone, the Dubuque will start forward. Sandrial into the zone, flips toward the net. It goes wide. Reeder chasing after it in back, but Quinn there first. Up the wall, it goes by Swanson and St. Louis into the Saints end. Barron back forward. It's loose to the Fargo line and picked up by the Force. 2:25 to play in the first. Hammered in on Radler from just outside the blue line, and he sticks it up and out of play. Face off in the Saints end with 2:22 left in the first. No score in game 3. The Saints down 2-0 in the Clark Cup Final. Best of 5. But the Saints excited to be back at home and feel like they can take care of business at home, get things back to Fargo, and it's anyone's series.
They talked a lot about the home ice advantage Fargo had up there and how the Force fed off that, and they're hoping the same is true here in Imon Arena.
They're trying to take it one night at a time. They got to get one before they can think about 2 and 3 and coming back in this series. They win the draw on their own end, left to right. Hendrickson hammers in deep. Pekarchik in the near corner, works free for the Saints. Plays toward the top. Paulson rips. Punched down with the blocker by Slukinski, and it's taken to center. 3-on-2 for Fargo, right to left if they hurry. Force into the zone. Swoboda, right wing. Leaves in front. The shot gloved by Radler. Swoboda had space on the right wing. The Saints did a good job to take away the passing lane and force the shot, and Radler gloved it with 2 minutes to play in the first, and a scoreless game so far.
Fargo has had a couple odd man rushes here, but the first one, Caleb Dick made a good defensive play to break it up, and on that play, Kevin Radler with the big save to thwart that odd man rush. So Force with a 9-8 advantage in shots with 2 minutes to go here in the first.
Merrill against Lepa in the Saints end to the left far circle. It's tied up. Saints win. The cross-ice feed from St. Louis blocked, but it does reach Frank, and he'll move up the right wing. All the way in deep. King didn't tip it, which he thinks he did, and he's arguing with the linesman. But they do call icing against Dubuque with 1:51 left in this opening frame. No score as the Saints head back in their own end for this face-off. Same 2 lines. Saints forced to keep the same line out, but Fargo keeps this Lepa, Stenari, and Davatilla line out as well. Saints with Malbuff and St. Louis on the back end. Gruba and Newmeyer at the point for Fargo. Late in the first, no score, game 3. Fargo leading the series 2-0 as the series shifted to Dubuque here for game 3 tonight. Merrill in his own end to the left. Near circle against Lepa, won by Fargo. Left point, Gruba walks the line, shoots through traffic. It tips just wide. Radler was going the wrong way after the deflection, but it went wide of the net. Merrill ahead, left to right to center. Frank at the blue line, swats in deep. 1:38 to play in the opening frame. Newmeyer quickly ahead on the right wing after the Saints dumped in, and it's turned to center, tipped by Merrill, and taken back by the Saints at their own blue line. Scott ahead in deep, kicked by the Saints into the offensive zone. King chases in back, turns around in behind the net, tried to muscle free, but it was picked off. Then he blocked the pass across. It pops up the wall. In from the point, Scott, but it was tipped past him by Davatilla. Rolls on edge all the way down the ice, and Visinen goes back for it. in the far corner, his own end. Starts the Saints ahead. 1:05 to go in the first. No score. Outlet on the tape for Frank. Trying to dance into the zone. Bozer seals it off. Takes it in behind the Fargo net. Into the far corner. It's Quinn quickly all the way out on the outlet. Swanson racing into the Saints end. Turns back bottom of the circle. Drops back. One-timer. Morrissey hammered it high and wide. Saints pick it up in center. It's King into the offensive zone. Right wing feed for Frank with 45 in the period. On the trailer, he has Aaron back again, but it was off his stick and taken back by Fargo. Morrissey right to left, far wing. It's Parks in front, kicked down by Raylor, and then Aaron, who is dumped. It will be a penalty on Fargo. 30.6 seconds left, force touch up. Aaron got a stick tied up in his skates, and it is a trip against the Force. And the Saints are going to have their first Chick-fil-A power play of the night. Lee Parks headed to the box for the Force. The Saints 0 for 3 in this series on the power play, and looking for a big one to try and open the scoring tonight in Game 3. Just 30.6 left in the first in a scoreless game so far. It'll be Noah Powell, Eric Paulson, and Beckett Hendrickson with Cornforth and Seamus Powell. This unit starting the first power play of the night for the Saints. Near circle to the right, Fargo end. It is Lepa against Noah Powell in the circle. Noah Powell, 16 power play goals in the regular season, led the league. He wins the draw cleanly. Right point, Seamus, 27 seconds in the period. Paulson on the near half wall at the hash mark, side of the net for Hendrickson. Hammers in front, it goes just wide. Cornford picks up on the far wing, top of the circle, 18 in the period. Leaves to the point, Seamus quickly to the right wing. Paulson down low, it was blocked, back in front. Powell rips, the rebound, they score! Cornford hammers it home. The first shot stopped. Cornforth with an empty net on the rebound, and he puts the Saints up 1-0 with just 10.9 seconds left in the first period. The Saints a power play goal, and they open the scoring in Game 3.
Cornforth with a wide open net. Great puck movement by the Fighting Saints. Great look. And again, a big key for this, the Fighting Saints, a big concern with them was finishing periods strong. They had a couple periods in Fargo where they didn't finish the period strong. This, getting a goal here, 10.9 seconds left to go, is a huge boost of confidence. It's going to be great for them going into the dressing room.
The Saints have now scored first in 8 of their 10 playoff games, and what a big one from Gavin Cornforth at the end of this first period on the power play. Fargo wins the draw. They hammer in deep. It's gloved down by Raylor, and they blow the quick whistle, so a face-off in the Saints end with 3.7 left in this first period. 1-0 Saints. It's Cornforth's third of the playoffs and his first point of this series for the Dubuque Fighting Saints. Should be, I believe, Paulson and Powell on the assists. We will try to get confirmation on that as soon as
They had
it's
good
official.
puck movement from the whole power play, so if you could give an assist to everybody on that power play, you would.
Everybody needs their cookies, Jim.
That's exactly right.
3.7 seconds left in the first. Face-off Saints end. Won by Fargo. Quick shot blocked by the Saints, and it bounces to center as the horn sounds on the first period. Gavin Cornforth with 10.9 seconds left in the first period. The Saints' first power play goal of the series, and Dubuque takes a 1-0 lead into period number 2. Here in Game 3. Jim, I think that's a really great sign for the Saints. It's easy. You're down 2-0 in the series. It's easy to get frustrated with the chances you have and none of them going in, but they stick with it. And like you said, the power play has been great all year. Great puck movement there. They only had 30 seconds in the period, and they find a way to get it done.
Exactly. And that's a situation where you're like, even if you don't score in the first 30 seconds of the power play, you're going to have a minute and a half carryover. But I think it's even more important to get that at the end of the period and, get that momentum, get that good vibe going into the dressing room rather than game planning for your power play for the next 90 seconds over the second period. But, again, good puck movement. Fighting Saints have been okay on the power play throughout the playoffs. They just haven't had the puck go into the back of the net. So I think that's got to be a huge boost for them, too, to get that power play goal. You saw in Game 1, late in Game 1, they had a 5-on-3, and they couldn't convert when they were down by 2-1. So It's got to be a great confidence booster for the Fighting Saints going into the first intermission.
Gavin Cornforth's third of the playoffs from Noah Powell and Beckett Hendrickson on the power play with 10.9 seconds left in the first period. It has the Saints on top 1-0 into period number 2. We'll talk to the captain during the intermission, and we'll get you set for second period action here in Dubuque. The Saints with a late one in the first, and they're on top in game 3.
We are joined by Saints captain Jake Sondriel ahead of Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. Jake, guys coming home down 0-2, but you said after the game you guys still have the confidence you can come back and win this. What do you have to do to get another couple wins here and then go back to Fargo?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been right there both games. They've been empty net goals to seal it, so I think, we're doing majority of the right things, just small little adjustments and then, kind of finding our game again and sticking to that.
You said you want to make sure the team is able to play a full 60-minute game, full effort. What is it that you guys have to do to be able to bear down mentally to get that done?
Yeah, just I think we can't get comfortable. You know, we kind of scored that goal, and those last 2 minutes of the first period is when they scored. So just all the way through and, you know, not getting comfortable no matter the score and, you know, sticking to what we do best.
Offensively, you guys have generated some chances, they've been stopped, a lot of block shots. How do you guys get those pucks to the net and cause some more problems around their cage?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, getting in front of Slukinski will be a big factor, so taking away his eyes and then, you know, trying to shoot through triangles and, you know, maybe changing the angle of your shot against if they're coming out at you. So I think just finding those little things and being able to put them on net is big.
Last one, coming home, playing in front of the fans here. How much of a boost is that for you guys to try and come back in the series?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to feed off their energy. They're always loud, and we have some of the best fans in the USHL, so that's a big thing for us going into Game 3.
Thanks, Jake. Saints at home tonight in the Clark Cup Final.
back inside I'm On Arena here in Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. The Saints with a huge one. At the end of the first period, just 10.9 seconds left. The only penalty of the period, it was late. Lee Parks for tripping at 19:29. It took the Saints less than 30 seconds. It was all they had was 30 seconds in the first period. Gavin Cornforth with 10.9 left in the period on the power play from Noah Powell and Beckett Hendrickson. Cornforth's third of the playoffs, and the Saints get their first power play goal of this series in their fourth attempt, and it was a big one. This is the first time after a period in this series that the Saints have held the lead. So the Saints have the lead. They're looking to hold on to it and extend it here in the second. Shots in the first period, 10-9 in favor of Fargo. Kevin Radler, 10 for 10. Slukinski, 8 for 9. And that's where we stand after one period in Game 3. We'll have the second period coming up in just a few here in Dubuque.
Hey y'all, my name is Tiara, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is that it has the perfect amount of spice to jumpstart my day. Whoever thought of it, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Robert, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is the biscuit. It reminds me of my grandma's homemade biscuit. It's always buttery and savory. Then you add the spices, instant classic.
Order the Spicy Chicken Biscuit on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Hey, I'm the Crawford guy.
Ooh, do you guys always speak at the same time?
Sorry, I'll go first. You know, if you need help with your heating or air conditioning or plumbing, Crawford Company can solve your problem.
But what about your problem?
What problem?
Do you not hear yourselves? Take it from me, the Crawford lady.
And me, the Crawford guy.
Crawford is the comfort company.
Visit CrawfordNorth.com.
Progressive Processing, a Hormel Foods company, is hiring great people across all shifts with new starting wages of $20.60 per hour to $25 per hour with the potential to earn up to $27 per hour. The team at Progressive Processing takes pride in producing popular and trusted Hormel Foods products that are sold in grocery stores across the country. They provide industry-leading benefits, a culture of engagement, and a variety of schedule options. See their openings and find your perfect job today at ProgressiveProcessingJobs.com.
At Great Clips, we want you to feel good about getting a great haircut. That's why we created the Great Care Promise, our commitment to keeping everyone as safe as possible in the salon. From contactless online check-in and social distancing to rigorous sanitization and mask requirements at all Great Clips locations, we're doing more to keep our salons clean and comfortable. Check in online and get a ready next text when you're next. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. All salons are independently owned and operated. Contact your local salon for specific safety measures.
Since Yamaha introduced their first golf car in 1979, Harris Golf Cars has offered friendly sales and service at their family-owned and operated locations in Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Nebraska. Come see the wide selection of gas and electric golf cars, as well as Yamaha's complete line of products available for your golf, campground, lake home, neighborhood, and farm needs. Harris takes trade-ins of all brands, and their expert technicians are here to repair and maintain your golf cars. Harris Golf Cars, your destination for all golf car needs. In Dubuque by Hobby Lobby or online.
Let's party at a Dubuque Fighting Saints game. Book your next group outing with a Quick Start Party Corner at a Saints game. Bring up to 20 people to enjoy an exciting night of fun and hockey with an unbeatable view of all the action on the ice in your own reserved seating area. Quick Start Party Corners start at $500 with food and beverage options available. Party Corners are perfect for corporate nights, birthdays, bachelorette parties, or a friend's night out. Get together, pack the house, and cheer on your Dubuque Fighting Saints. For more information, visit DubuqueFightingSaints.com.
Windstar Lines is a family-owned and operated local Dubuque charter bus company that has been serving customers nationwide since 1995. With 8 Midwestern hubs and a varied fleet, including minibuses, motor coaches, sleeper buses, and vans, we are able to accommodate any group, large or small, to any destination near or far. With over 20 years in the travel and tourism industry, our reputation for superior safety, impeccable equipment, and unparalleled customer service makes us the right choice for your group's transportation needs. Now hiring full and part-time drivers. Go Windstar.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Start your day with the Chick-fil-A Chicken Biscuit, available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonial.
Don't want to miss any Fighting Saints action this season? Order a flex plan today, starting at just 5 games. Choose the games and seat location to witness the Saints fight for a 6th Clark Cup. Plans start at $9 per ticket. Visit DubuqueFightingSaints.com.
You feel that energy? That's the 563 Nation with the Dubuque Fighting Saints, and it's time you get in on the action with 2024-25 season tickets on sale now. Join the 563 Nation to unlock a world of benefits. Learn more at the Fighting Saints website now.
We are back at I'm On Arena for the second period of action in Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. The Saints, well, it was a huge one late in the first period from Gavin Cornforth, his third of the playoffs, and the first power play goal of this series for the Saints. Jim Leitner is next to me. My name's Josh Starr, and Jim, in Game 1, late, the Saints had the power play chance. They couldn't convert in their only chance in Game 2. Tonight, what a big goal for them at the end of the first period to try and take momentum. What do they need to do to hold that momentum and continue this game?
Well, I think they've done a really good job of limiting the odd man rushes. You know, that's a big key. You know, because Fargo's a team, they don't need too many opportunities to score. They're going to bury on them. And they did a really nice job of that. And I just maintain that composure and don't let the moment get too big for you. And, you know, just keep the foot on the gas. I think that's, in that Game 1 or Game 2 Saturday night, they kind of left the foot off the gas the last 90 seconds. And before they knew it, a 1-0 lead turned to a 2-1 deficit. So just keep the foot on the gas and keep playing the way they have and keep being responsible defensively, and they'll be okay.
Well, Dubuque Screw Products goal has the Saints on top. It was scored by Gavin Cornforth with just 10.9 seconds left in the first on the power play. The team switch ends. Fargo in black, left to right. Hampton Slukinski, 8 of 9 in the first. The Saints in a white, right to left in front of Kevin Radler, who stopped all 10 shots he faced in the first period. 1 penalty in the first against Fargo. The Saints capitalized late. Sondrell and Morrissey ready to start the second period here in Game 3, and the puck is down on period number 2. Fargo wins the draw, and the Force move forward left to right. It's 1-0 Saints as the second begins. All the way in deep Saints end. It's Rayler to the corner, bobbled by the Saints. Reeder chops it forward, and then Sondrell forced Morrissey to center, who did intercept the pass. It's tumped back in Saints end, near wing to the right. Scott in the corner has a couple of Fargo players all around him. He hammers it off the corner wall. It hits the ledge, stays in the zone. Left wing, Parks head up, back through the seam, back to the right wing for Swanson in front. Blocked by Scott. He'll sweep it ahead. Barron at the top of the circle, and a penalty is coming behind the play against Fisher Scott. He knocked Swanson down as he got the puck ahead for Barron, and after a late penalty in the first against Fargo, the Saints take a penalty just 36 seconds in to the second. Fisher Scott for high sticking, and the Saints Crawford North penalty kill will have its first crack at this game tonight with a 1-0 lead early in the second.
Yeah, that's not exactly the way the Fighting Saints wanted to start this period, but again, their penalty kill has been outstanding throughout the playoffs. They've only allowed the 1 goal, so if they continue to maintain that and play disciplined in their defensive zone, they'll be okay.
Fargo wins the draw. Saints 14 of 15 on the kill in the playoffs. Swanson at the point, the rip. It was tipped wide in front by Parks. Far corner, played in behind the Saints net to the right. Parks holds on. Leaves to the far half wall. Gruba up to the point. Quinn walks the line almost a minute into the second. 1-0 Saints. The launch from Gruba wide off the glass and bounces back to center. It is now a minute into the second period. 1-0 Saints, a minute 35 left on their first kill of this contest. They were 1 for 2 in Game 2. And they were 2 for 2 in Game 1 so far in this series. Hacked into the Saints end to the right. Swanson off the near wall. It hops over his stick out to center, and he has to go back to the neutral zone to regroup. It's dumped in Saints end. Far corner to the right. Malbuff there first, goes to the corner, tries to play ahead. It's kept in by Gruba. Down the wall in the far corner. Parks swings it around back. 90 seconds into the second. 1-0 Saints on a power play goal late in the first, but they're on the kill. Another minute 5. Pass back to the point, and Quinn couldn't hang on. It bounces to center. A minute to go on the kill for the Saints. 1:40 into the second. A 1-0 lead for Dubuque in Game 3. Left to right, Parks flies into the Saints end. Left wing feed, it's Gruba. In from the point, a shot. Hit up something in front. Bounces just to the side of the net. Played ahead to the point, and Quinn has to take it out to center. There was some space on the rebound there, but Fargo couldn't find the puck. Quinn back ahead, tip to the Saints end. Malba picks it off, he'll shovel ahead, again not out. Right wing, Fisher the shot, and with the paddle, Radler knocks it up and out of play behind. 2:05 into the second. 32 to go on the high stick to Fisher Scott. A 1-0 Saints lead early in period number 2.
Veteran move there by Radler. You know, the Fighting Saints were kind of a little bit tired with their penalty killers. You know, he angled that puck up into the netting perfectly to get the whistle and, you know, have the Fighting Saints get a fresh batch of penalty killers out there.
Saints had a couple chances to clear the zone there, and they couldn't, and Fargo ended up with a couple shots. Radler knocks it out of play. Sondrell and Reeder up front here on the kill. Visinen and Dick. The defenseman, Scott in the box. The Saints win the draw. Visinen up the wall. Kept in briefly, but Reeder will play it to center. It's picked up there in the neutral zone by Fargo's. Svoboda across the Saints line near wing. Filters down low. Visinen picks off and then chucks it back to the Fargo blue line. Just 15 left on this power play for the Force. Dumped in, Saints end to the right by Bozer. In behind the net, Visinen picks up, side of the cage, leaves it to the near wall. Sondrell checked, but able to move it to center. 5 left on the kill for the Saints. 2.5 into the second, 1-0 Dubuque in game 3. Trying to get back in this series on home ice. Fisher Scott out of the box. Saints successful on the Crawford North PK. Visinen sweeps up the wall, back at full strength. Sondrell across ice. Caleb Dick with space, right to left across the red line. Weaves into the offensive zone. Drops to Hendrickson. Looking cross ice, it was blocked. Reeder kicks it back to his blade and then feeds it down low. Taylor picks up behind his own net. Plays to the corner wall and Lepa will scoop ahead. Swatted to center. Saints pick up there. 3 minutes into the second. 1-0 Saints. Paulson right wing. Carries into the zone. Weaves high slot. Takes a hit. Tries to keep the puck alive and it's kicked to center. Saints pick back up and then offside called against Dubuque at the Fargo line. A little bit of physicality at the blue line there. The puck bounced back to Pekarchik, but he was still in the zone. 3:11 into the second. 1-0 Saints, and overall a strong kill for the Saints.
Really good kill. I don't think Fargo really had any really good looks or didn't get really. They had a couple shots on net, but nothing really dangerous for Kevin Radler.
Fargo wins a neutral zone draw. It's 1-0 Saints early in the second. Puck tipped in center. Hit Seamus up high. He blocked it though and springs the Saints ahead. Left wing, Pekarchik into the offensive zone. Spins around in the corner. He sealed off the puck there. In from the point is St. Louis to keep it alive. Hendrickson back to the point. St. Louis cross ice. Hendrickson tips toward Paulson, and then he was stripped in the slot, and it's back to center. Seamus back for it in his own end. Across ice for St. Louis, and he'll leave it back across for Seamus in his own zone, just inside the blue line, right to left. Saints move into the zone. It's Pekarchik flying in, high slot, trying to get a shot away. He was checked as he moved to the bottom of the circles, and Fargo will take it to center. Numbers for the Force, left to right. Morrissey into the Saints end, offside. Davatilla beat Morrissey in, and the Saints catch a bit of a break there. Fargo couldn't hold the line. 3:54 into the second. It's 1-0 Saints here in game 3.
Yeah, Morrissey just mishandled it enough to draw his line mate offside, but you know, you got an odd man rush there. You got to be careful and make sure that you stay on side, and that's obviously going to lead to a good scoring opportunity.
Neutral zone draw outside the Saints blue line to the right. Near dot, it is Aaron and Morrissey. 3:54 into the second. 1-0 Saints. Down in this series 2-0, but they have scored the first goal for the second straight game now. Looking to make it count this time and get back within a game in this series. It's pumped into the Saints end by Fargo off the faceoff, and Visinen back for it for Dubuque. Right to left, Cornforth the goal scorer. Outlets toward Romeo. He was stripped at the blue line, and Parks tips back in Saints end. Scott back for it along with Visinen near wall. Scott turns, plays up the boards, and Romeo will go cross ice. It's in front of Cornforth, swatted past him back to the Saints zone, and Romeo back for it. Plays to the near wall for Scott. Outlets to Aaron. Wheeling into the offensive zone. Near wing. Cuts to the bottom of the circle. Cycles toward the front of the net. Tries to stuff it on at the side. And it was blocked by Slukinski. Back to the near wall. 4.5 in to the second. 1-0 Saints. Scott back down the boards. Near side to the left. Aaron hit to the wall. Goes in deep for Romeo. He'll cycle in behind for Cornforth. Far circle. Working low to high. All the way to the top of the zone on his backhand, turns and flips back down the wall for Aaron. He'll tip it to the near corner for Scott. In from the point, bottom of the circle, feeds toward the slot, tipped away from Romeo before he got the shot away, and it's flipped to center by Quinn. Glove down by Cornforth. He holds on inside his own line. 5 minutes into the second. 1-0 Saints. Outlet toward King. He bobbles, regains control, rips it just wide. Whistled past the far post. Caleb Dick falls down. And Frank able to swat the puck back ahead. It's pumped back in, Saints end to the right. 5:15 into the second. 1-0 Dubuque. Jubenville behind his own net. Cranks off the glass. It bounces towards center. King into the zone. They call it. Played with a high stick is the whistle as it was tipped through center off the glass. King almost caught up to it, but the whistle came. And the faceoff will come back in to the Saints end to the right. 5:22 into the second period. A 1-0 Saints lead, and we'll take a break here in Dubuque early in the second in Game 3.
Finnin', 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 finnin'. You're winning with Finnin'. When you drive away in a Finnin' car, you're winning with Finnin'. And you're always treated like a superstar. You're winning with Finnin'. We take pride in customer loyalty. We're leaders in the community. So come on down and you will see. Finnin', Finnin', Finnin'. You're winning with Finnin'. Finnin'.
Should the Saints hold on to their lead in this game? There's a long way to go here, but if they do so, there will be a Game 4 in Dubuque tomorrow night as soon as this game ends. If the Saints win, tickets for tomorrow night's Game 4 will go on sale. You can get them at DubuqueFightingSaints.com or by visiting the box office after tonight's game. 5:22 into the second, 1-0 Dubuque on top with a late power play goal in the first period by Gavin Cornfort. Just 10.9 seconds left in the opening frame for Cornfort to get the Saints on the board first tonight. In their own end to the right, Teddy Merrill and company out for a face-off on the far circle. Take it against Fisher as Kevin Rayler, who's 12 for 12 tonight, watches to his right. Fans waving their rally towels. Saints win the draw, and the pass out from Dick, blocked by Benz. He almost was all alone in front, but he couldn't hang on to it. And the Saints tip to center. 5.5 in, it rolls in. Fargo end to the left. Up the wall, Dick in from the point, lays a hit. Saints pick it up. Frank dances to the point, cross ice, and it was tipped away from Jubenville by Newmeyer. Back to center, Frank ahead, bouncing through the neutral zone. Jubenville ahead, and his pass was out of the reach of a teammate streaking in. Saints would have had numbers if Jubenville could hang on to that pass. 5:50 into the second. Saints hold on behind their own net with Caleb Dick, leading 1-0 in Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. This is the first Clark Cup Final game in Dubuque since 2016. Saints right to left into the offensive zone. Then it's pumped back to center by Fargo. Malbuff is hit. He plays ahead. Benz picks up on the near wing. Moves into the Saints end. Right side into the corner. Sweeps it all the way along the boards to the left point. It's Bozer in from there. Shot blocked by Dick. Out of the area. Bats it forward. And Merrill will sweep ahead. At the red line, Frank onto the right wing. Looking for King. It was by him. Taylor banks behind his own net. Up the near wall. Frank almost got to it, but it was tipped to center. Merrill turns it back in on Slukinski from there. Saints changing lines with 13.5 to play in the second. It's 1-0. Saints lead Fargo in Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. Dubuque trails the series 2-0. Lestarza streaking into the zone. His shot, and it's blocked by St. Louis. On the stick, it goes up and out of play. Rides up into the netting. 13:18 left in the second. 1-0. Saints lead, and those are the types of chances you don't want to give to Fargo when you have possession and then you lose it quickly like that.
Well, if you do, you have an active stick. Get in that shooting lane, get in that passing lane, and deflect it up into the netting. That's you are going to make those mistakes. You are going to have those opportunities against, but just be aggressive and make sure that those go harmlessly up into the netting.
That's exactly what St. Louis did there. Got the block in. Saints have given up 12 shots. Radler stopped all of them. They've launched 11 of their own and lead this game 1-0. Sondrell against Plant in his own end. 13:18 left in the second period. It's turned to the near wall, Saints zone. It's pumped along the boards, pinned to the wall by Plant. Sondrell skates free with it into the corner. He's checked. Malbuff on the backhand, ahead towards center. Hit with a high stick by Barron, but then played by Fargo right back into the zone. Far wing into the Saints end. It's swept all the way along the boards, and Barron will pick it up on the near side. His outlet pass Reeder. Picked up by Newmeyer at the red line, hammers in cross corner. Off the corner boards, Barron will shovel ahead again. Blocked by Plant, but down low, St. Louis will pick it back up. 12:45 to go in the second. It's 1-0 Saints. A late power play goal in the first by Gavin Cornfort. Luke Malbuff shovels in and chases, activating into the offensive zone. He leaves free for Reeder on the cycle. Low to high, St. Louis on the left point. Walks the line, holds on at the point. His shot wide off the end boards. Turned in front, tipped, and a was wide by Reeder off to the near wall. 12:28 left. Sandra, a one-timer, and the shot goes wide. Here in period number 2, Fargo will chip it out to center. It's 1-0 Saints. Reeder back for it in his own end. He'll hold on as Fargo changes lines. Reeder in front of his cage, starts the Saints ahead right to left. St. Louis, cross ice. Reeder weaves into the offensive zone. High slot, cuts to the right circle. His shot punched down by Slukinski near wall. Paulson to the point. Scott from there. The shot through traffic, and it's gloved by Slukinski. That one was low, and it was through the legs of Parks, and Slukinski saw it with 11:58 to play in the second. And a 1-0 Dubuque lead. The Saints now leading in shots, 13-12. They'll have an offensive zone draw with Paulson, Pekarchik, and Hendrickson.
I think this is the kind of game you expected when these two finalists were punched their tickets to this series, and it's been a great, entertaining game all night long.
Paulson on the near circle to the left. That shot from Fisher Scott, what the Saints are trying to do more of. That was through a screen, and Slukinski struggled a bit to see it. He did see it and made the stop. Paulson in the offensive end to the left with just under 12 to play in the second, a 1-0 Saints lead. He wins the draw. Up at the top, Pekarchik sweeps down the boards. It's picked off. Back at center, Scott pumps ahead, and it's blocked by Parks back into the Saints end. Scott leaves it in behind the net. Visinen takes a hit, sweeps up the wall. Parks catches up to it in front of Paulson. He leaves it on the cycle for Swanson. Back to the near corner. Scott ahead from there, blocked by Bozer, bounces in behind the cage. Visinen picks up. Flips to himself on the right wing and outlets. Has Hendrickson streaking into the zone. Right wing, right against Quinn. Drops back. Paulson across ice. Pekarchik rips. And he missed it. Off to the far corner wall, and it's turned to center. Saints an odd man rush. Maybe a little bit slow to try and get the shot off there. Pekarchik right back into the zone. 11 1/4 left in the second. Scott dances toward the front. Drops back toward the top. And it was tipped away from Hendrickson. Turned to center by Davatilla. Hendrickson at the red line, right back ahead, and it's picked up by Fargo. The outlet on, racing ahead, Swanson into the Saints end. Visinen across to the circle, seals him off with 11 to play, and the Saints knock it free. The outlet all the way down the ice and wide of Slukinski. So icing is called against Dubuque with 10:53 to go in the second. 1-0 Saints. Do you think the Saints should have tried to shoot that puck sooner on the odd man rush there?
You're looking for the best opportunity. And I mean, if you get a wide open net, then you hit it. I don't have any complaints about that. I do like the way the Fighting Saints, Swanson's has a couple opportunities where he's kind of broken free, but they're closing that gap and taking away his opportunities. And, he's not getting any shooting opportunities, so he has to pass. And, that's always a good thing to keep him to the outside and not let him get to the net.
16 points for him in the playoffs in 10 games. That leads all players in the Clark Cup playoffs. 10:53 to go in the second. 1-0 Saints. Face off in the Dubuque end of the right. Saints win. Visinen lofts towards center. Cornforth can't catch up to it. It bounces back into the Saints end. Aaron check. Lepa toward Davatilla, right circle. A shot blocked by Fisher Scott. Bounces up to the top of the zone. Kept in by Fargo. Loose on the half wall. Chopped ahead by Visinen. Swept forward and not out by Cornforth. Left wing. Stenari, the shot. It's smothered by Radler. Saints had a chance to clear. They couldn't, but Radler makes the stop on the circle and holds on for a face-off. 10:29 left in the second, and it's still 1-0 Saints.
How many times have you said that tonight? Saints have a chance to clear. They don't. Fargo does a nice job holding the blue line, and he makes the big save or puts the puck into the netting to get a whistle. So big on Kevin Radler for the performance he's had tonight.
Teddy Merrill hops out to Radler's right, who's 13 for 13 tonight. He'll take a draw against Fisher in the Saints end. Far circle as the Saints lead game 3 of the Clark Cup Final, 1-0. A shot shoveled wide of the net by Fargo right off the draw. Saints take a big hit as King flipped it ahead. It goes up and hits something in the ceiling, so a whistle with 10:21 to go in the second. 1-0 Dubuque leads. The face-off will move across the ice to the near circle this time. Kevin Radler's left. Merrill will stay out there to take the draw against Fisher once more. Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. The Saints down 2-0 in this series. Both of the first two in Fargo. Game 3 tonight in Dubuque. It's 1-0 Dubuque on a late first period goal by Gavin Cornforth. Merrill against Fisher in the Saints end of the right. almost halfway through regulation. Merrill wins, and it's chipped off the glass, bouncing to center by Seamus, settled at the Fargo line by Quinn. He'll outlet, tipped into the Saints end. Icing call against the Force with 10:10 to go in the second period. 1-0, Saints on top. Eric Paulson's line will hop over the boards to take a face-off. Uri and the Gophers, they've been so good for the Saints in the regular season and the playoffs. They combined for a couple goals in the last game, and well, they've been outstanding since they were put together in mid-March. They win the draw. Offensive end, Seamus down the left wing boards. Hendrickson across ice. The pass tipped away. Bounces up to the point. Jubenville gloves down, and he tipped it toward Pekarchik, but it was flipped to center by Hakkarainen. Wrapped right back in by Jubenville. Slukinski out of the net, leaves to the corner, and Quinn will play across behind his own cage. Up the wall from Bozer. Saints swat that back ahead. Bozer across in front of his own net for it. Near wall, scoops ahead. Stopped by Seamus at the blue line, but Quinn will shovel ahead. Back down the ice. Icing waved off. Jubenville back for it. 9:38 to go in the second. 1-0 Saints. Right to left. Jubenville cross ice. Tipped by Hendrickson up the boards into the offensive zone. Played by Fargo in front of the net. Gruba will take it around back. He turns it over in the corner. Pekarchik working low to high. Lifts it toward the point. Seamus kicks it down the rip. He scores! Seamus Powell from his foot to his stick, and he rips it home. It's 2-0 Saints with 9:23 left in the second. Seamus Powell's third point of this series and his second goal of the playoffs, and it extends the Saints lead to 2. What a play by Seamus Powell.
What a great play, obviously pinching in. You know, as you mentioned, he kicked the puck from his skate to his stick blade. He's in all alone. A beautiful shot, 2-0 lead. That's a huge goal. Gets the Fighting Saints fans back into this game and gets them buzzing again. That's a huge goal for the Fighting Saints.
Face-off won by Fargo, rattled in deep behind the Saints net. Kalen Bick upended. It will be a penalty on the Force. A trip against Michael Lastarza, and the Saints, who just took a 2-0 lead with Seamus Powell, are going to head to the power play when we come back. 9:13 left in the second. It's 2-0 Dubuque to the Chick-fil-A power play right after this.
Finnin, 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 finnin. You're winning with Finnin. When you drive away in a Finnin car, you're winning with Finnin. And you're always treated like a superstar. You're winning with Finnin. We take pride in customer loyalty. We're leaders in the community. So come on down and you will see. Finnin, Finnin, you're winning with Finnin. Finnin.
Tonight's broadcast on Eagle 102.3 presented by Michelin in Piazza. The Fighting Saints felt like the mistakes they made in the first two games were the reason they lost. Well, Fargo with a mistake in their own end. They turn the puck over. The Saints make them pay. 2-0 Saints, and they head to the power play right away afterward. And they'll keep the same unit that scored the power play goal at the end of the first period out. Seamus Powell from Uri Pekarchik, and the Saints are on top 2-0 heading to their second power play of the night. Far circle to the left, Fargo end, 9:13 left in the second. They win the draw. Saints down the far boards, right wing in the slot. Noah has it checked away. Seamus tries to keep in. It's knocked towards center, and Morrissey against Seamus. Seamus able to seal that off and skate back in his own end, leaving it for Cornforth. 9 minutes to play in the second. 1:43 to go in the power play for the Saints. The second chance of the night. They're 1 for 1. 2-0 Dubuque in game 3. Noah high in the air, bouncing it in behind the Fargo net. Bounces to the circle. Hendrickson trying to work free. It's swatted ahead. Cornforth keeps in, leaving toward the point then. It was tipped away by Svoboda out to center. Seamus will wrap it right back in, and the Saints chase after it in back. 1:20 left on the power play. Bozer up the wall, and Morrissey will skate ahead and then slide it down the ice. 8.5 to go in the second. 1:10 on the power play. Radler behind his net will leave it up the wall, and the Saints will start ahead with the power play unit changing right to left. Sandro into the zone. Near wing, holding on, leaves to the corner wall. Reeder pumps it along behind there, trying to work free for Sondriel. He takes it out of the corner, leaves to the half wall for Pekarchik. Back down low, Saints go low to high, kept in by Vizin. Great job by Yon on his back end to keep in. Right wing feed, St. Louis in front, tipped by Sondriel, and it's gloved down by Slukinski. Head height, it was going by him, but he knocked it down. Saints keep in, 38 on the power play. Side of the net, Reeder stuffs it in front, it's loose, goes to the far circle. Sondriel ripped down, they don't get a call, and it's chipped to center by Fargo. All the way back into the Saints zone. Vizinen with 25 left on the power play, 7:35 in the second. 2-0 Saints. They blaze right back into the zone. Sifted to the side of the net, near corner wall to the left. Sondriel goes in the corner for Reeder on the cycle. Cross ice, in from the point, Vizinen. Back down low, is tipped away. 10 seconds on the power play. Saints low to high. Pekarchik across the blue line. Vizinen bobbles, holds on. Back to the left for Pekarchik. Right wing feet, in front, stuffed on. Rebound! It's blocked in front. The shot by St. Louis hits Sondriel, who was turned around. Fargo hits their man out of the box. Saints stuff it back on goal in front. They jab away. Slukinski fights through it and covers up. Reeder was decked in front, and he's on the ice. And the Saints with great chances on the power play, but cannot beat Slukinski there. And 7:06 left in the second. A 2-0 Saints lead, but they're unable to score on the power play and extend the lead.
A lot of really good looks for the Fighting Saints there. A couple empty nets that they didn't hit. You just hope that doesn't come back to haunt them. But, they had some really good looks. Power play is really buzzing right now. And, that's I think scoring that first power play goal in the first period really gave them a lot of confidence and against this really good Fargo penalty kill.
They're 1 for 2 tonight now. 7:06 left in the second. Shots now 17-13 in favor of Dubuque. An offensive zone draw for the Saints with a 2-goal lead for the first time in this series. The Saints hold on, and they play it down low off the face-off. Cornforth lays a hit. Taylor up the wall, in from the point. Scott keeps in, kicks it to his stick, skates in behind the net, feeds toward the slot, tipped away by Fargo, then knocked free by Cornforth. Aaron turns in front, and it was swatted away back to center as he tried to knife through and force it back to the front of the net. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Scott swats ahead. It's settled by Noah across the red line into the offensive zone. Knocks across, and it was blocked by Taylor. Rolls in on goal, and Slukinski will cover up. 6:36 to play in the second period. It's 2-0 Dubuque. An offensive zone draw for the Saints. Jim, feels like momentum building for Dubuque. Really trying to get that third goal and really keep the momentum in their side.
I think a big key is they got the first goal, and they've done a nice job of protecting that one-goal lead. They weren't allowing many opportunities the other way for Fargo. They're just playing a steady game, playing their game, and they got the second goal, and that just added to their momentum. But I think a big key has been making sure they're protecting their own house and not letting Fargo get a great opportunity.
Fargo had 10 shots in the first period. They only have 3 so far in the second with 6:36 to play. Saints in the offensive zone. They win the draw with the fourth line out. The shot at the point by Jubenville was blocked. He knuckles it back down the boards, but Fargo picks that off. Hakkarainen, far wing, lofts in, Saints end to the right. In back, Caleb Dick dumped behind the cage, and he was able to get up and keep the puck in his possession. He's pinned to the wall, trying to turn out of traffic, pokes it up the boards, has King there, who drops back toward Dick, and then King will outlet toward Merrill. Great job by the Saints in close quarters to get out of there. And Dick, after he was upended, to get back up and keep the puck ahead. Saints move right to left, back into the offensive zone. King stripped at the blue line, and then at center, Dick will pick back up, chips off the glass, and it's in deep. King chasing after it. He leaves free in the corner and skates along there, check to the wall. Pinned to the boards, far side. Fargo end to the left, 5:45 to play in the second. 2-0 Dubuque. Saints sold out crowd trying to keep them going with a 2-0 lead, but Fargo wins the battle, and it's turned left to right out to center. Newmeyer weaves across the Saints line, checked by King. The puck goes into the far corner wall. Swept in back, Vizinen picks off for the Saints. Tries to elude Parks, he can't. Swanson picks up right circle, rips wide of the net, off the end wall, and it bounces off to center ice. Puck on edge, rolling all the way back to the Fargo zone. 5 1/4 to play in the second period. It's 2-0 Dubuque. They have a power play goal late in the first period, and Seamus Powell added to it here in the second. Saints poke a puck free in the neutral zone. Outletted by Scott. It was tipped and picked up by Fargo. Swanson just inside the Saints line. Cross ice feed looking for Parks. Swatted out of the air by Fisher Scott. Taken to the near wall. Saints move ahead, but they can't get out. Kicked along in the slot and then chopped to center by Dubuque. Taylor will pick up at his own blue line. Left to right, Fargo lofts forward, chipped into the Saints end. Scott racing back for it, 4:45 to go in this second period. 2-0 Dubuque. Right to left, Paulson bouncing puck, settles, moves into the offensive zone. Right wing, holding on the far circle. Backhands across ice, goes all the way through. Pekarchik on the near boards. Settles for the Saints, trying to move back to the point. Picked off by Davatilla. Pekarchik rips it back free. Paulson in front. Hendrickson rips, and it's saved with the mask by Slukinski. He stepped out to the top. Saints move back toward the slot. It pops to the far corner. Paulson trying to swat down low. He's checked by Gruba. Puck goes in deep. Quinn ahead to the corner for Gruba, who chips it ahead, and it goes out to center. 2-on-1 for Fargo, left to right. Scott back, Davatilla into the Saints end. Cross ice, Gruba rips, save, rebound, they score! An odd man rush for the Force, and Fargo is back within one. It was Davatilla on the rebound from the Gruba shot, and with 4:03 left in the second period, this is a one-goal game.
Again, all night long, the Saints have done a really nice job of, even when the Force had odd man rushes, they did a nice job of breaking them up or hustling back to, create a little havoc so they weren't getting a good quality look. But that situation there, Davatilla went to the net. Radler made the initial save, but he was on the back door for a tap in. And it's interesting, we have quite a few Fargo Force fans in the building tonight.
They made the trip down. Davatilla had 3 points in the playoffs coming into this series. He had 4 assists in game 2. Now has a goal in game 3. 5 points in this series for Davatilla. 4:02 to go in the second. It's now a 2-1 game. The Saints lead cut in half. Sondriel and Plant at center ice. The Saints win the draw. 4 minutes to go in the second. Leading by a goal. Right to left, Barron carries in offensive end, swats it down low, and in behind the net, Newmeyer picks up. That was just the 4th shot of this period from Fargo, and it beat Radler in the far corner to the left. Reeder trying to muscle free. It comes to the point, off the wall, Vizinen walks the line, skates back down the boards at the hash marks, bottom of the circle, looking in front, all the way around behind the net, wraparound, stuff in front. Barron took a swing, but he couldn't get there, and on his side, Slukinski covers up with the glove. Some pushing and shoving afterwards. Sondriel and Taylor mixed up, but quickly separated. 3:35 left in the second. 2-1 Saints. And a good response there right after the goal.
No question about it. It didn't seem like that really bothered them or got to their confidence. Fighting Saints are buzzing right now, and they're, again, really good response to Fargo's. I think that gave Fargo a lot of life on their bench too, to cut this lead in half. And like I said, they've been kind of outplayed here in this second period, and it's a huge goal for them to get back into this.
Saints out shooting the Force 9-4 in this period. But goals are one apiece in the second period. It's 2-1 overall. Saints on top, 3:35 left in the middle frame. Saints in the offensive end of the left. Noah Powell taking a draw on the right circle against Morrissey. It's one to the wall by Noah. He'll go back up top. It's picked off. Trouble for the Saints. Swanson rushing ahead. Saints able to rush back to even things up. Morrissey skates to the bottom of the circle, and he lost the puck as he got to the bottom of the ring. Saints pick up. They flip ahead. Not out. Kept in down low. Swanson spins in front. Tipped away by Vizinen, who dove to break up the pass. Aaron ahead, and he gets it to center. Right wing, Noah rumbles into the offensive zone. On the far wall, he spins it back up top. St. Louis takes over on the blue line. Holds on right point. Lofts it toward the front. Blocked by Bozer. And he chips it out to center. 3:03 to go in the second. It's 2-1. Saints on top. Puck dumped in Saints end to the right. Jubenville in the corner from Radler. Saints leave it in the corner. Aaron picks up, trying to skate up the wall, flips it in the air, gloves it down back to himself, muscles it forward, and then Cornforth will flub it ahead, and it does sneak to center. Davatilla, who's on a delayed offside, has to peel back to touch up. It's Jubenville picking ahead and has Cornforth. He weaves through some traffic in the neutral zone. It pops in the air, glove down by Aaron, and then he pushes ahead. Cornforth in the neutral zone, just hammers it in deep. And the Saints are in the middle of a change. 2:28 to play in the second. 2-1 Dubuque. Puck up the near wall. Davatilla tips to center. Seamus there for the Saints. Across ice, Jubenville right wing. Carries in on the far boards. Into the bottom of the circle. Feeds in front. Tipped by Sondriel. Saved by Slukinski. And it's picked up by Lepa. He'll skate to center. Knuckles to the Saints line. Seamus quickly ahead. Barron tips it free to himself. Bouncing puck, right circle. The rip! It's stopped by Slukinski right in the chest. Barron had a couple of Force players right on his back and just had to try and get the shot off from long range. No traffic in front. Slukinski makes the save with 2:04 to go in the second. A 2-1 Saints lead, and they'll have an offensive zone draw.
Barron is one of the fastest players. You get him behind the defense, he's going to have a great opportunity on a breakaway, and just couldn't corral the puck just enough to get that opportunity. But again, the Fighting Saints have that home run pass and had a really good opportunity there.
Barron moving up to the Sondriel Reader line tonight. He's fit in really well so far. This line's created some chances. The Saints lead 2-1, 2:04 left in the second. Offensive zone draw. This line stays out. Scott and Visenen on the point. Sondriel and Morrissey in the circle. Fargo end of the left far ring. Saints win it. Visenen in from the point. Skates to the corner wall. All the way in behind the net. Trying to keep hold of the puck. He does. Back to the left point for Scott. Down the boards. Visenen back up high. Scott has it blocked, and it tips the center. Visenen will pick up there and flub it back in deep. 1:48 to play in the second. 2-1 Saints in game 3. As the Saints trail this best-of-5 Clark Cup Final 2-0 and return home tonight. They have the lead late in the second. 1:35 to play. It's Bozer picking it off of the Saints line. Right wing circle. Holds on. Goes back to the point for Morrissey. Head up from there. He'll filter it back down low. Visenen and Svoboda cancel out. Puck pops up the wall to the point. Off the boards, Newmeyer. Cross ice for Quinn. Right point. He'll go back to the left wing. Morrissey up high. Slides back through. Quinn dances to the front. His backhand. It was blocked. Goes wide of the net. Radler was all sprawled out. And the Saints able to block it and take the center. Right to left. It's Reeder across the Sondriel. He flips in deep. He'll change. 1:05 to play in the period. And they call offside against the Saints with 1:03 to go in the second period. 2-1 Dubuque, a neutral zone draw coming up. That's a big block by the Saints there and deep in their own end.
Again, this is a Fargo team that's been able to answer any kind of adversity throughout the whole season, actually. And they're not a team that trails very often. And when they are down, they're mature enough and they're calm enough to respond, and they did. And since that goal, it seems like they've had the advantage in play. But again, the Fighting Saints have stepped up to answer that intensity and kept this right at 2-1.
Neutral zone draw. Paulson taking the face-off. He wins to the near wall. Pekarchik rattles in deep. A minute to go in the second. It's 2-1 Saints. Puck bounces back to center across the Saints line. They sweep ahead. It's not out again. Parks keeps in. High slot. Poked away by the Saints, and it does go to center. St. Louis got his stick in on that. Puck down low. Saints end. 45 seconds left in the second. St. Louis across ice for Seamus. Outlets, and Paulson weaves into the offensive zone on the right side. He'll shoot up high on Slukinski, gloves it, and holds on with 36 flat left in the second period. 2-1 Saints late in the second period of Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. It's a 2-0 series lead for the Fargo Force, who took care of business at home in Games 1 and 2. The Saints looking to do the same in Game 3 tonight in Dubuque and force a Game 4 tomorrow night here in this building. They lead 2-1 with 36 seconds left in the second period. Offensive zone draw for Dubuque. They scored very late in the first. That was a power play goal. Right now, even strength. Cornforth did score that goal. He's out with Aaron and Powell. Aaron going to take the draw against Lepa. Far circle to the left. 36 ticks left in this second period. Puck tied up. Saints win the draw. Cornforth filters in behind the net. Aaron quickly low to high, has St. Louis off the wall. Right point. Shifts his way across the blue line. Lofts toward the net. It rips wide of the cage. Powell in behind. He falls down in the corner, and it's picked up by Bozer, who will outlet with 20 seconds left in the period. Newmeyer on the left wing. Stood up at the Saints line by St. Louis. The puck stays in the zone. Chipped ahead, and it goes up and out of play in the Saints end. The faceoff will come out with 12.4 seconds left in the second period. 2-1, Saints on top late in period number 2. It'll be a neutral zone face-off for this draw right outside the Saints blue line. Far dot. Saints line to the right. It's Lepa out for Fargo and Teddy Merrill for the Saints. 12.4 seconds left in the second. 2-1 Dubuque. Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. Saints trying to hold the lead into the second intermission. They're 12.4 seconds away from doing that. They lead 2-1. Merrill and Lepa in the neutral zone as they are set to drop this puck. And they call it back again. They'll retry here. Late in the second. Saints with one in each period. Fargo was down 2-0. They've made it a one-goal game. And the fourth lines battle on a draw here in the neutral zone. Saints find a way to win it. They can't move it ahead, but King lays a hit on Davatilla. 5 seconds in the period. Lepa dumps in. Saints end. Seamus back for it with 2 to go. He'll hold on behind the net and leave it in the corner as the horn sounds on period number 2. The Fighting Saints have a lead into the third period for the first time in this series. And they are going to look to hold on and force another game in this Clark Cup Final. Jim, 2-1 after 40. Really, there have been some chances tonight, but this is a really tight game. And the Saints able to limit Fargo's chances in that period. They gave up the one on-man rush goal, but you have to like the way the Saints have bunkered down and played defense in this game.
Exactly. I think that was really they've had some plays that looked like they were going to be odd man opportunities for the Force. The Saints got back. They got into passing lanes. They disrupted the play, took the play away. That was really the first time they had a really good look or a really good scoring opportunity on the odd man rush. So Saints have done a really nice job taking away that odd man rush, and that's something that Fargo's really good at. They got a lot of talented players who can vary on the odd man rush. So again, great play by the Fighting Saints to limit those opportunities and protect the lead that they have.
The Saints lead 2-1 after 40 minutes of play tonight in Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. We'll talk to Jay Reeder in the intermission. We'll get you set for the third here tonight. Coming up in just a few, it's 2-1 Dubuque after 40 in Game 3.
We're joined by Saints forward Jay Reeder as the Saints take on the Fargo Force in Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. Jay, you guys coming back home, getting to play in front of the fans. What is the excitement level for that?
I mean, it's tough being down 2-0, but we know that just like they took 2 at home, that we can also take 2 at home, and that's kind of just the mindset right now is just take these and then head back to Fargo.
What are the adjustments you guys have to make from the first 2 games?
I think just we've been turning the pucks over a little bit too much, and we got to limit that and just start working on the offensively and just playing our game.
You guys have had some chances to score. Their goalie has made some saves. How do you guys bear down in those moments and get those pucks to the back of the net?
I think it starts with getting guys to the net, whether in front of him, because he's been saving a lot of the shots he's been seeing. So just adding extra bodies and layers in front of him and just getting second chance opportunities.
Thanks, Jay. Saints at home in the Clark Cup Final.
For the first time in this series, the Dubuque Fighting Saints lead into the third period. They have a 2-1 advantage after 40 minutes in Game 3 against the Fargo Force in the Clark Cup Final. The Saints 1 for 2 on the power play. That one late in the first, Gavin Cornforth. Seamus Powell made it a 2-0 lead for the Saints in the second, just after the halfway mark, but late in the period, Reed Davatilla on an odd man rush, a rebound chance. Kevin Raylor made the first save on Leo Gruba, but Davatilla finished off the rebound and made this a 1-goal game into the third period. Fargo 0 for 1 on the power play. That was early in the second. The Saints, well, a great second period overall. They spent a lot of the time in the offensive end. They outshot the Force 11-4 in the second, outshooting Fargo 20-14 overall in this game. It's a 1-goal lead for the Saints headed into the third period. We'll have the third period of action coming up here in Dubuque in just a few minutes. The Fighting Saints with a 2-1 lead, looking to keep their season alive for another day. They have the lead, and the third period is coming up next.
Hey y'all, my name is Tiara, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is that it has the perfect amount of spice to jumpstart my day. Whoever thought of it, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Robert, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is the biscuit. It reminds me of my grandma's homemade biscuit. It's always buttery and savory. Then you add the spices, instant classic.
Order the Spicy Chicken Biscuit on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Hey, I'm the Crawford guy.
Ooh, do you guys always speak at the same time?
Sorry, I'll go first. You know, if you need help with your heating or air conditioning or plumbing, Crawford Company can solve your problem.
But what about your problem?
What problem?
Do you not hear yourselves? Take it from me, the Crawford lady.
And me, the Crawford guy.
Crawford is the comfort company.
Visit CrawfordNorth.com.
Hey y'all, my name is Tiara, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is that it has the perfect amount of spice to jumpstart my day. Whoever thought of it, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Robert, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is the biscuit. It reminds me of my grandma's homemade biscuit. It's always buttery and savory. Then you add the spices, instant classic.
Order the Spicy Chicken Biscuit on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Hey, I'm the Crawford guy.
Ooh, do you guys always speak at the same time?
Sorry, I'll go first. You know, if you need help with your heating or air conditioning or plumbing, Crawford Company can solve your problem.
But what about your problem?
What problem?
Do you not hear yourselves? Take it from me, the Crawford lady.
And me, the Crawford guy.
Crawford is the comfort company.
Visit CrawfordNorth.com.
Progressive Processing, a Hormel Foods company, is hiring great people across all shifts with new starting wages of $20.60 per hour to $25 per hour, with the potential to earn up to $27 per hour. The team at Progressive Processing takes pride in producing popular and trusted Hormel Foods products that are sold in grocery stores across the country. They provide industry-leading benefits, a culture of engagement, and a variety of schedule options. See their openings and find your perfect job today at ProgressiveProcessingJobs.com.
At Great Clips, we want you to feel good about getting a great haircut. That's why we created the Great Care Promise, our commitment to keeping everyone as safe as possible in the salon. From contactless online check-in and social distancing to rigorous sanitization and mask requirements at all Great Clips locations, we're doing more to keep our salons clean and comfortable. Check in online and get a Ready Next text when you're next. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. All salons are independently owned and operated. Contact your local salon for specific safety measures.
Since Yamaha introduced their first golf car in 1979, Harris Golf Cars has offered friendly sales and service at their family-owned and operated locations in Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Nebraska. Come see the wide selection of gas and electric golf cars, as well as Yamaha's complete line of products available for your golf, campground, lake home, neighborhood, and farm needs. Harris takes trade-ins of all brands, and their expert technicians are here to repair and maintain your golf cars. Harris Golf Cars, your destination for all golf car needs. In Dubuque by Hobby Lobby or online.
Let's party at a Dubuque Fighting Saints game. Book your next group outing with a Quick Start Party Corner at a Saints game. Bring up to 20 people to enjoy an exciting night of fun and hockey with an unbeatable view of all the action on the ice in your own reserved seating area. Quick Start Party Corners start at $500 with food and beverage options available. Party corners are perfect for corporate nights, birthdays, bachelorette parties, or a friend's night out. Get together, pack the house, and cheer on your Dubuque Fighting Saints. For more information, visit DubuqueFightingSaints.com.
WinStar Lines is a family-owned and operated local Dubuque charter bus company that has been serving customers nationwide since 1995. With 8 Midwestern hubs and a varied fleet, including minibuses, motor coaches, sleeper buses, and vans, we are able to accommodate any group, large or small, to any destination near or far. With over 20 years in the travel and tourism industry, our reputation for superior safety, impeccable equipment, and unparalleled customer service makes us the right choice for your group's transportation needs. Now hiring full and part-time drivers. Go WinStar.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Start your day with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit, available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonial.
Don't want to miss any Fighting Saints action this season? Order a flex plan today. Starting at just 5 games. Choose the games and seat location to witness the Saints fight for a 6th Clark Cup. Plans start at $9 per ticket. Visit DubuqueFightingSaints.com.
We are set for third period action in Dubuque. It's game 3 of the 2024 Clark Cup Final. For the first time in this series, the Dubuque Fighting Saints have a lead into the third period. That is huge in this series. The Fargo Force leading after 2 in the regular season, 37-0-1. And so far in the playoffs, 8-0 in games where they lead into the third. The Saints have the lead to start the third period, up 2-1. They played a strong, sound game so far, Jim Leitner. What has worked well that they need to keep doing in the third to come away with the win?
Again, just attention to detail. They've done a real nice job with that and limiting those odd man rushes against, really keeping Fargo to the perimeter and doing a really good job of that. You know, they've done a great job of that, but they did that in the first period of game 2. And Fargo scored two quick goals within the last 39 seconds of the period. So you can't afford to take your foot off the gas. You can't afford to let down at all at any point in this third period, because Fargo is certainly capable of quick strike offense.
The biggest message I got from the Saints this week across the board, we need to play a full 60 minutes, and we feel like we're going to be okay. Well, there's 20 left. They played a full 40 so far, and the puck is down on period number 3. The Saints in white dump in left to right to open up the third period. Bozer behind his own net. The Force move to center, and all black. They flip across the Saints line. 15 seconds into the third. It's 2-1 Dubuque. Puck battled for behind the Saints net to the left. Fizenen up the boards. It's Morrissey who comes away with it. Leaps to the point. The shot wide of the net. Bounces in front. Tipped away by Radler up high. The Saints will outlet. On the tape for Reeder. Rushing in. Quinn right on his back. Reeder. He's muscled off the puck as it went to the side of the cage. Quinn quickly outlet. Swanson right wing, 40 seconds in to the third. 2-1 Saints. Swanson right circle. The shot tipped in front. Swatted away from the goal mouth by Jubenville, and Barron picks up. He'll slice to center, left to right. Sondriel forks in deep. Barron tries to play back to the front. Sondriel had peeled back on a change. Swanson picks up. 55 into the third. It's 2-1 Saints. And it's Davitillo on the right wing into the Saints end. He's the goal scorer for Fargo, but he's stripped by Colin Frank, and he has it in the neutral zone. Saints move into the offensive end with Frank on the near boards. He leaps to the point. Jubenville shoots. It hits King in front, bounces right next to him. He chops it on, save, rebound, and it's loose in the slot. Found by Gruba. He banks at the center. All the way down the ice, and it's trickling into the Saints end. Icing called against Fargo. 1:19 into the third. 2-1 Saints, and another great job by the fourth line. They force a turnover at their own blue line. They head down the ice, create a chance, get an offensive zone draw.
Yeah, we've said it all playoffs. That fourth line, centered by Teddy Merrill, has been outstanding at creating havoc. And again, they go to the net, make some things happen, and had a really good look there to make this a 3-1 game.
Merrill missing from game 2 after being suspended. And the Saints were thrilled to have him back in the lineup tonight. That line's been good so far tonight. It'll be Eric Paulson, Pekarczyk, and Hendrickson out for an offensive zone draw. 1:19 into the third. The Saints led 2-0. It's 2-1. Now, early in the third, offensive zone face-off for Dubuque. Paulson on the far circle to the right. Hampton Slukinski, 19 of 21 tonight. The Saints try to put some more pucks on him in the third. They can't win the draw. Stenari cranks it to center off the boards. Pekarczyk in his own end. Flies to center for the Saints. Bozer kicks that back into the Saints' end. Delayed offside against Fargo, so Dubuque will pick up. 90 seconds into the third, 2-1 Saints. Pekarczyk weaves into the zone, across the blue line, dances to the near boards, holds on there, he plays to the point. Dick in from there, the shot, hit a skate in front, bounces to the left circle. Paulson hammers it toward the front. It was tipped and goes out of play behind the net by the Force. 1:47 into the third. It's 2-1 Saints. They'll switch up forward groups with Cornforth, Aaron, and Powell coming out. And a 2-1 lead, another offensive zone draw early in the third for Dubuque.
I like the way they've come out, still have their foot on the gas, and although they are cognizant of Fargo's explosiveness too. They're not just going willy-nilly. They're protecting their own house and making sure that defense is first.
Aaron against Plant. Fargo into the right, far circle. Puck bounces to the wall. Noah plays to the point. St. Louis there. He's stripped. Saints able to keep it in. Noah trying to force down low, and it was tipped past him out to center. Just about 2 minutes played in the third. Saints back for it at their own line. Caleb Dick sauces ahead. He has Aaron into the zone. High on Slukinski with the rip from up high. It is gloved by Slukinski, and he holds on to it. Aaron just getting that puck to the net. And the Saints will get a face-off out of it in the offensive zone. 2:04 in, third period. It's Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. The Saints lead it 2-1 after they dropped the first two games of this series on the road in Fargo. They return home tonight. They get off to a 2-0 lead. It's now 2-1 early in the third period as the Saints look to keep their season alive on home ice tonight and force a Game 4 tomorrow night. Noah Powell taking a face-off in the offensive zone against Morrissey. And Morrissey wins. Turn up the wall. Saints pick it off. Powell quickly to the point. St. Louis in from there. Curls, drags the shot. Saved by Slukinski. It was left to the side. Newmeyer sweeps it to the corner wall. Noah trying to crash along and win it back for the Saints there, but it's pumped to center. Morrissey, 2:20 in, third period. Flips into the Saints end on his backhand. Chasing in behind the Dubuque net. St. Louis has it. Skates to the circles. Has Aaron, who outlets to Noah Powell on the right wing. He gains the red line and flutters it in deep. All the way in behind. Cornforth trying to work free. It bounces along to the far corner wall. Parks there. He lost it to Noah, who looks toward the point, and it was tipped. Goes out to center, but the Saints will grab it. 2:45 into the third. Scott out towards center. Cornforth on the drop divides it in, and the outlet right back on for the Saints. Left wing, Scott into the offensive zone, and it goes on the wall, kicked to center by the Force. Visinen seals it off at his own blue line. Battles for the puck. He lost it. Hakkarainen turns the shot. Blocked by the Saints. Bounces to the near corner. Sandro line out right now. Barron and Reeder with him. Scott Visinen battle in behind the net for the puck. It pops to the near corner to the left. Saints end. Reeder there. Flips up the wall. It was blocked by Bentz. Sandro tries to force the center, but the Force defenseman able to play it ahead, and Dubuque will pick up, though, in its own end. The outlet tipped through the neutral zone. Bounces in past Taylor. Sandriel tips to the corner. 3.5 in. It turns into the front. Barron rips, and it's gloved down by Slukinski. Sandriel got it free from the corner. Fed Barron at the circle, and his wrist shot was blocked and gloved by Slukinski. 3:31 into the third. 2-1 Saints, and a great chance there for Michael Barron.
I don't know how Slukinski tracked that puck, because it certainly took about a fortunate bounce for the Fighting Saints right to Michael Barron, and right in the low slot. He had a great opportunity to score there, and Slukinski made a quick recovery and made the save to keep this a one-goal game.
Teddy Merrill on the fourth line out for an offensive zone draw. Merrill pushes it ahead, but Bozer picks it off. He'll go right to left for Stenari. Banking to center, Jubenville there. Flips it forward on the backhand. It bounces into the Fargo end, and Quinn will slice back to the neutral zone. Picked off again by Jubenville, and he shovels in deep this time. 3:45 into the third period. It's 2-1 Saints in Game 3, looking to keep their season alive on home ice tonight. In the neutral zone, pumped ahead by Dubuque. On the near wing, it's Bozer picking up. He'll go right to left. Far wall into the Saints end. Raithler lost his balance a little bit, didn't go for the puck. The Saints do fine, though. They break out. Merrill ahead. It hit Romeo in the skate. The Saints lose it. Newmeyer takes it from Merrill. Puck loose in center. Bounces to the near wall at the red line. Plant hammers in deep. Radler out of the net. Stops it in behind. Leaves for Seamus. 4:20 into the third period. It's 2-1 Dubuque. Seamus Powell scored the second goal. It's the difference right now. He flips to center, but the Saints can't catch up. Gruba moves into the Saints end. Curls, drags the shot, kicked away by Radler with the left leg. It's flipped up the wall, not out. Turned back in front. Seamus blocks it. St. Louis will fork to center. Bouncing puck there, held onto by Plant, and he dumps back into the Saints end. 4:40 in to the third. Saints turn it over in front. It's underneath Radler. It goes wide somehow. Bounce to the point. Taylor shot back in. Tipped wide. Seamus got to stick to it. In the near wall, Merrill takes a hit. The puck to the point. Bozer walks the line. His shot through traffic wide. Off the end wall. Pekarchik trying to get to it. He can't. It's at the point for Taylor. D-to-D, 5 into the third. Bozer shot blocked by Hendrickson. Rattles to the far wall. Spun in front. Tip. Saved by Radler. He stones Plant on the back door with the right leg. And he covers up the rebound. Kevin Radler, his biggest save of the night. It keeps the Saints in front by 1. Helter-skelter in the Saints end, and Kevin Radler with a big right leg save. 5:08 into the third. It's 2-1 Saints. We'll take a breather here in Dubuque.
Finnin, 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 finnin. You're winning with Finnin. When you drive away in a Finnin car, you're winning with Finnin. And you're always treated like a superstar. You're winning with Finnin. We take pride in customer loyalty. We're leaders in the community. So come on down and you will see. Finnin, Finnin, you're winning with Finnin. Finnin.
The Fighting Saints lead 2-1 in the third period of Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. Should they win this game and hold on, Game 4 tomorrow night in Dubuque. Tickets for that as soon as this game ends with the Saints leading. If they can hold on, the tickets will go on sale at DubuqueFightingSaints.com or stop by the box office at the arena tonight after the game or during the day tomorrow. 5:08 into the third period. Kevin Radler with a huge save right before the break to keep this a 2-1 Saints lead. He stopped Zam Plant on the doorstep on a redirect. Saints in their own end. The face-off, though, won by Fargo. Pumped toward the front, and it trickles just wide. Radler didn't react in time, but it went past his net. On the far wall, Parks stopped by Paulson. It's loose on the corner wall. Saints fine. Dick ahead. Tips forward, not out. It is Newmeyer on the left wing. He'll shoot through traffic. Radler makes the save with the left leg. Saints rush ahead, 3-on-2. If they hurry, a penalty coming up behind the play. They call interference. It's going against Lucas St. Louis, and the Saints are going to the Crawford North penalty kill for the second time. They had a 3-on-2 rush, but the official, Ryan Siegel, saying that Lucas St. Louis interfered, and that sprung the Saints ahead. So the Saints head to the kill for the second time tonight. They're 1 for 1, 5:30 into the third. They lead this game by 1, but a crucial penalty kill coming up.
Yeah, this could be a big swing here. Fighting Saints kill this off. They'd have a huge shot of momentum. Fargo scores. Obviously, it's tied. So this is going to be a critical junction here with 14:30 to play in the third.
Saints now 15 of 16 on the kill in the playoffs. They can't win the draw. It's at the point. Quinn's shot blocked in front by the Saints. 14:23 to go in the third. Saints lead by 1 on the kill for 150. Fargo to the side of the net, turned in front, hacked wide by Parks in the slot. Loose in the near corner. It's turned in back. Plant holds on there. Flips toward the point for Swanson. Right side. All the way center point for Quinn. 140 on the power play. Left side. Gruba holds on to the top of the zone. Feeds Quinn there on the blue line. Back to the left wing. Gruba skates down the boards for Parks on the cycle. All the way up top. Quinn, point to point. Has Swanson back across Quinn on the left. 125 on the power play. 13:52 in the third. Saints lead by 1. Quinn dances to the circle. His shot blocked by Scott. It goes to the side of the net. Saints move ahead. It's loose in the slot. Fargo takes it in back. Up the far wall. 110 on the power play. Swanson takes off the boards. The rip. It's punched away by Radler. It comes up the wall. Still in. Gruba right side for Swanson. Top of the circle. Holding on. Swings it to the bottom of the ring. Plant fires across ice. Gruba back up top for Swanson. Pressure from the Fargo power play. 55 left on it. Gruba's rip. Blocked by Scott again. Saints clear with Sondriel sweeping it out. It bounces into the Fargo end. 13 and a quarter left in the third. 2-1 Saints. 45 left on the interference to St. Louis. Swanson racing back across the Saints line to the left. Far wing. Plant takes it to the bottom of the circle. Banks to the point. Bounces. Settled by Quinn. Fargo keeping this unit out. The Saints swing across to Gruba. They can't get the puck from him. Let Noah Powell back checks him and forces free. Malbuck will flip to center. 25 left on the kill. 12:53 in the third. 2-1 Saints. Bozer right to left as Fargo switches units. Rattled into the Saints end. Loose on the near half wall. Losarza takes it off the wall. Cross ice. One-timer. Fisher. Saved by Radler. He slides to the left. Top of the crease. He smothers it right in the chest. 13 seconds left on the kill. Fisher all alone on the circle. And the Saints get another big save from their goaltender to keep a 2-1 lead alive. 12:43 left in the third.
Now you're just a face-off win and a deep clear away from killing off this penalty and getting a big shot of momentum. It looks like Sondriel is going to take the face-off here. You win this, dump it down, you got a chance to kill this off clean.
13 left on the kill. 12:43 left in the third. 2-1 Saints as they try to extend their season another day. It's Sondriel on his own end on the kill against Fisher, who was just robbed by Radler. Radler has 20 saves on 21 shots tonight as the Saints lead 2-1. Puck drop, turn to the side of the circle. Reeder finds, turns, and fires all the way down. 8 left on the kill. 12:37 left in the third. Bozer back for the puck. He starts forward, right to left. St. Louis exits the box with 12:28 to go in the third. Back to full strength. Fargo into the zone. Left circle, the rip. Tipped wide by Svoboda. Bounces back to center. Pekarchik rumbles ahead. He and Paulson racing into the zone. 2-on-2. Pekarchik toward the front block. He has it back in the corner. Sweeps it in back. Paulson holds on behind the Fargo net with 12 and a quarter left. Chopping it up top. It bounces. Seamus keeps in with his skate. Takes it to the corner wall. Looks back to the point on the backhand. Has Hendrickson there. His rip blocked. Back to center ice. Hendy able to force it back ahead. And Seamus dumps back in. Under 12 to play in the third. The Saints get a huge Crawford North penalty kill. And they stay ahead 2-1. Aaron pumps it in deep from neutral ice, and he'll chase after it on the forecheck. The Saints in the middle of a change. A huge penalty kill for the Saints. They're 2 for 2 tonight on the kill. 2-1 Dubuque leads, 11:40 left in the third. Fargo right to left, deep into the Saints end. Radler holds on behind the net, chips it high off the glass, bounces up top, saved in the zone by Quinn on the right boards. Down the wall, Aaron blocked it but couldn't get out. It's flipped back in behind the net. Lepa and Dick cancel out behind the Saints cage. Dick pecks at it, and Aaron and Stenari come in to try and support. The puck in Stenari's skates. To a side, digging away, it pops to the side of the net. Seamus there, flips it up the far wall. In from the point, it's Quinn. Hammers it back around the boards. 11:10 to play in the third. Saints lead 2-1. Noah tips it ahead and muscles it forward. It's Cornforth with numbers. Right wing, Cornforth into the zone. The rip saved by Slukinski. It's loose in front, and Noah couldn't get the stick to it. His stick was tied up as he was crashing the net, and Slukinski covers it up. Fargo took away the pass. Cornforth went for the rip, and Slukinski got it with his glove and covers up. 10:59 to play in the third. It's 2-1 Saints, and Dubuque with an odd man rush there after some time in its own end. But the Saints still holding the 2-1 lead with 10:59 to play.
Again, they're defending. They're taking advantage or taking care of their back end. Obviously, Fargo's pushing here and putting the pressure on the Fighting Saints, but they're defending and they're getting the clears when they need them. And in that case, they turned him into an odd man rush.
A sold-out crowd in Dubuque tonight for the first Clark Cup final game in this building since 2016. The Saints, with their backs against the wall, they lead 2-1, trying to force another day in their season with 10:59 to play in the third. They have an offensive zone face-off. Teddy Merrill will take it against Gavin Morrissey. Saints' fourth line has been effective and productive all season, and they're still getting ice time here late in a tight game with the season on the line. Saints lead by 1. Merrill wins the draw. Scott on the top of the right circle. Shifts to the point. Bison and winds. Drives. Tipped in front. Saved by Slukinski. It went through Merrill, and Slukinski kicked it away towards center. Scott knocks free. Frank picks back up. Merrill racing to get back on side. Saints move into the zone onside. It's King and Frank. They were both swarmed off the puck. 10:40 to go in the third. Fargo right to left. Swatted into the Saints end. In deep. Radler out of the net. Up the wall. It's turned over. It's Lastarza cutting toward the front. The shot on goal. They save. It's Radler who stopped it in front. Turned in front. A couple Fargo players were there. They tipped it on. And Morrissey and Hakkarainen both stopped by Radler after Radler lost the puck in his own end. Some pushing and shoving at the end as Fargo crashed into the Saints net. And with 10:30 to go in the third period, the Saints still holding on to their 2-1 lead in Game 3.
Yeah, they're creating some. It looks like we're going to get a couple of coincidental penalties here. Probably could have taken more than just 2. But
are they going to call this 4-on-4? Yeah, it's roughing on Andrew King and Harper Bentz. We'll see if it might be 5-on-5 still.
Looks like there's four guys out there for each side.
It will be 4-on-4. 10.5 to go in the third. The Saints with a 1-goal lead, and it's 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. King and Bentz both sit for roughing. Face-off, Saints end to the left. There'll be more space on the ice. The Saints trying to hold a 1-goal advantage and extend their season. 2-1 Dubuque, 10.5 to play. Sondrial and Plant in the Saints end. It's won by the Saints. Jubenville ahead. Has Sondrial. He'll go cross ice to center. St. Louis peels back in the neutral zone and then leaves it for Jubenville at his own blue line. Cross ice on the left wing. St. Louis carries in far boards into the offensive zone. Back to goal. Peels back to left circle. Sondrial cutting down low. Turns around in the corner. Looking up top. And he banks it to the point for St. Louis. Skating down the left wing boards. Flips back to the front. Sondrial gloves down. Chips. He scores! St. Louis back in front. It bounced all over the place. Sondrial got a piece and looped it over Slukinski's shoulder. It's a 3-1 Saints lead. 9:53 to go in the third, and the captain puts the Saints back up by 2. Woo!
They can exhale a little bit there. What a wonderful play. Fighting Saints, up in Fargo, they talked about not getting a couple bounces, a couple bounces went the other way. But man, they couldn't have asked for a better bounce on that play. And Jake Sondrial with the presence of mind to calmly tap that into the net. Just a wonderful, wonderful goal. A huge lift for the Fighting Saints.
What an incredibly skilled play by Sondrial. The pass was in the air, was behind him. He knocked it back with his left hand to the side of his body, settled the bouncing puck as much as he could, and just flipped it over the shoulder. A great goal by the Saints captain at a huge time. A huge collision in the corner Saints end right off the faceoff. Seamus and Morrissey. They both get up, but Morrissey has the puck. 9:45 to play. Still 112 on the 4-on-4. Saints up 2. Fargo Saints end to the left. Bozer on the near point. Down the wall for Quinn as Hendrickson leaves him to the wall. The puck pops back up top. Hendrickson has it, and he skates to center. Left to right, trying to move it across to the right side for Paulson, but it was tipped away. Halfway through the 4-on-4. Saints already with a goal on this 4-on-4 to make it a 2-goal lead. 9:20 to go in the third. Right circle, Saints end on the far wing. Saints block the shot but can't get out, and then the pass back by Fargo out to center, taken back in by Quinn, and offside is called. 9:13 to play in the third period. A 3-1 Saints lead, and the captain delivers for Dubuque to make it a 2-goal game for the Saints. 9:13 left.
Finnin, 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 finnin. You're winning with Finnin. When you drive away in a Finnin car, you're winning with Finnin. And you're always treated like a superstar. You're winning with Finnin. We take pride in customer loyalty. We're leaders in the community. So come on down and you will see. Finnin, Finnin, Finnin. You're winning with Finnin. Finnin.
Tonight's broadcast on Eagle 102.3 is presented by Michelin in Piasta. Josh Starr with Jim Leitner. Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. Saints down in the series 2-0. Jake Sondriel, a huge goal to bring the Saints back up by 2. But right before that, Kevin Radler, some huge saves for Dubuque, and that really leads the way for the Sondriel goal.
No question. How many times do you see that? A goaltender makes a beautiful save at one end, and his team goes down and scores, and that's a huge swing. If he doesn't make that save, it's a tie hockey game. Sondriel goes down and scores, and now it's a 2-goal cushion, and the Saints are in business. 9-13 away from forcing a game 4.
We heard from Sondriel earlier tonight. He said he really feels like they did a lot of things right in the first 2 games. They just have to play the full 60 minutes, keep the detail in line. Well, Sondriel leading by example, making a great play to put the Saints back up 2. 9:13 to play in the third. A neutral zone face-off. 4-on-4 for another 40 seconds. Saints win the draw and will start ahead left to right. Cross ice. Sondriel tips in deep in behind the Fargo net. He lays a check. It's in the corner. Reeder comes away with it. Goes to the point. Bouncing puck. Scott keeps alive. Across ice on the point for Bison. Right side. Jetting to the bottom of the circle. Turns side of the net. Sondriel spins it in front. Goes all the way up top. Reeder back through traffic wide of the net. Scott on the near wall. Can't get there before Plant does. 8:40 to go in the third. 3-1 Saints. 10 left on the 4-on-4. Back through center, right to left for Fargo. Scott tips it away at his own line. Reeder from the ice feeds Aaron ahead. 1-on-3. Aaron into the zone. The rib. It's stopped by Slukinski. Holds on in the chest and takes the face-off. Both players out of the box. Back to 5-on-5. 8:27 left in the third. And the Saints lead game 3 of the Clark Cup Final 3-1.
What an entertaining hockey game all the way through. I mean, it's been up and down action both ways. The Fighting Saints have just been a little bit better, and they've capitalized on a couple bounces, and here they are 3-1 now. But again, Fargo's a dangerous team. They're a quick strike team, and you're going to have to play good defense the rest of the way to preserve this lead.
Saints can't win the draw. They hold it up, though, and it does sneak to center. 8:18 to play. Fargo right to left, deep into the Saints' end. Dubuque has some cushion back, but still looking for more. They lose it in their own end. It's filtered wide by Bozer. In behind the net, Fisher has it blocked on the centering feed. Cornforth tips ahead, kicks it forward. The Saints trying to clear. They muscle to center. Cornforth ahead. Noah on the left wing, turns back inside the line. He's stood up. Cornforth lays a hit. The puck loose. Aaron takes it out of traffic. Has Cornforth. Cross ice for Noah. In his skates, he settles, turns, rips it back across ice. No one there for the Saints. Bozer will take over for Fargo. 7:45 left in the third period. Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. Saints looking to extend their season to a game 4 tomorrow night. Down 2-0 in the series. Left to right, Dubuque tips to center. Noah chasing after it, then he'll peel back for a change. Newmeyer holds on, outlets, Gruba right wing, 7.5 to play, into the Saints end. Blast, punched away by Radler. Off to the near wall, Lastarza sweeps in deep. Seamus there for the Saints, up the left wing, puck hops on him along the wall. He lost it, Lepa feeds in front, Dick intercepts, fists the head, and he has Paulson, who lofts the center. Hendrickson lost his balance, so he can't catch up to the pass, but it does go in deep. Gruba takes over and leaps for Newmeyer in the corner. The outlet for Fargo, right to left, 7:05 to play in the third. 3-1 Saints. Right wing, Gruba into the Saints end, drops back toward Davatilla. It's loose to the side of the net. In back, Gruba picks up, kicks it to his stick, goes low to high at the point. Taylor fakes the shot and then knuckles it on his backhand in deep. Turned in front, stopped by the Saints at the side of the net. Seamus dumped, gets the puck across to the left wing, and Pekarchik skates to center. 6:45 to play. 3-1 Saints. Dick in front, looking for Paulson. Tip, saved by Slukinski. Back in front from Pekarchik. It's tipped in behind the net, and Taylor plays it forward and out all the way down. The Saints rush back, and they get the icing call with 6:29 to play in the third. 3-1 Saints. Another good chance for Dubuque on the rush, and they have an offensive zone draw, leading 3-1 with 6:29 to play. Sondriel, Barron, and Reeder out. This, I think, Jim, has been the Saints' best line tonight. Sondriel has been no pun intended, a force tonight.
Well, and he's a captain. He's a captain for a reason. He's got a calmness about him, and he's got a fire about him, and you want him to be performing at this time of the year, and he certainly has been.
Saints win the draw. Sondriel high slot, heels the shot to the corner. Barron chases, who got lifted up onto this line tonight, and he's been great for the Saints in this game. up the wing, and it's Quinn picks up in his own net. 6:15 to play in the third, 3-1. Dubuque leads. Puck rattled in behind the Saints net. Rayler to the corner. Visinen shovels it up on the backhand. Glove down by Morrissey. Saints pick it up with Sondrial. Then Scott outlets, but it's going to go all the way down the ice for icing against Dubuque with 5:58 to play in the third period. 3-1 Saints lead. They just got an insurance goal from Jake Sondrial here in the third period. They led the game 2-0. Fargo got back within one. Sondrial on a great play by the captain. The assist for Lucas St. Louis at 10:04 of the third has put the Saints back up by 2. Face off in their own end. Sondrial will take it after the icing against Zamplant with 5:58 to play in the third as the Saints look to keep their season alive. They win the draw in behind the net. Visinen tied up. It's loose, and Fargo takes over. Swanson to the point for Gruba. Down the left wing. Swanson toward the front. It's off Rayler. Side of the net. He doesn't see it. Filtered back toward the front. It bounces in behind. Up to the right circle. Bozer at the point. Swanson takes it away from Gruba. The Saints with a 2-on-0. They spring Reeder. It's a breakaway between the circles. The snap. It's gloved by Slukinski. Reeder with a breakaway chance to try and put the Saints up by 3, and Slukinski robs him with the glove. 5:33 left in the third. The Saints still up by 2, but the USA teammates from the World Junior A Challenge meet on a breakaway, and Reeder stopped by Slukinski.
Yeah, great opportunity again for the Fighting Saints. Again, the Force are going to be pinching in. They're going to do everything, pull out all the stops to try to get this to 3-2. So, there's a chance you clear the zone. You might have an odd man rush going the other way.
They got the breakaway. Reeder stolen by Slukinski, who's made 27 saves on 30 Saints shots. They have 30 shots for the second straight game in this series. Fargo only allowing about 24 in the regular season per game. Saints can't win the draw on the offensive end, and it's Morrissey picking up in center. Dumps in Saints end to the left. Behind the net, St. Louis quickly up the wall, tipped by King. It slides down the ice. 5:20 to play in the third. Saints lead 3-1 in game 3, looking to extend this series to another game tomorrow night. It's played by Fargo right to left. On the left wing, Fisher across the Dubuque line. He's stopped on the half wall. Frank flips to center. It's loose in the neutral zone. Fargo will pick up at its own blue line with 5 minutes left in the third. Loose in center. King picks up. He's stripped. The puck loose again, and Jubenville will find. Tipped ahead, and it goes into the Fargo bench with 4:53 to play in the third period. 3-1 Saints. They went up 2-0. Fargo got one in the second. It went to the third, a one-goal game. And Jake Sondrial just passed halfway through this third period with a crucial goal for the Saints in this game at a big time in their season. It's 3-1 Saints with 4:53 to play. The faceoff right at center ice. Aaron against Lepa here in the circle at center. Under 5 to play in game 3. Saints in front of a sold-out crowd at home, looking to move on to game 4 tomorrow night, down 2-0 in this series. The puck turned into the offensive zone by Dubuque. Seamus in from the point, tried to filter down low for Noah, but it was blocked, and Stenari picks up in his own circles. Right to left, 4:35 to play. His outlet tipped in the neutral zone, pops way up in the air, bounces across ice. Lepa flips it in as Noah decks Lepa across in front of the Saints bench. Saints swatted ahead. Cornford tries to knuckle to center. It stays in by Fargo. In behind the net. Seamus there first. Up the wall. Lepa couldn't block it, but it's kept in at the point. Swinging back in behind the Saints net. 4:15 to play. 3-1 Saints. Loose puck behind the cage. It's battled for. Stenari and Caleb Dick are behind the Dubuque cage to the left. It pops free to the corner. Seamus there first. Sweeps ahead. It's kept in by Gruba. Right point. Shifts back down the right wing boards. Leaves back up top, and Plant couldn't hang on. It goes out to center. 3:58 to play in the third period. 3-1 Dubuque on top. It's turned back in. Right circle. Plant shot. Saints got to stick to it. It goes over the net and off the glass all the way back down into the Fargo end. Hendrickson racing after it. Couldn't get there. It's pushed back ahead. Plant right wing. Far boards into the Saints end. Inside the blue line. Across ice. Swanson filters back through the front. All the way through the slot. Off the corner wall. Back up top. 3:35 to go in the third. 3-1 Saints. Slukinski still in the net for now. Taylor at the point. Right side is shot. Blocked by Pekarchik. Trickles to the slot. Batted ahead. Saints fine. Can't clear. Lestar's a shot off a skate. Wide into the corner. chopped ahead by Visinen. Hendrickson forward, can't get out. Swanson holds on left wall. Cross ice for Taylor. His blast blocked by the Saints, and Scott knocks it to center. 3:10 to play in the third. 3-1 Saints. Slukinski still in the net for now. Both coaches have their timeouts. Right to left. It's Plant in behind the Saints net. He dumps in. St. Louis there. Across below the goal line, and Jubenville outlets for the Saints. Tipped by Pegarchik for Sondriel. Ahead on the left wing. Reeder into the zone. Left side. Filters back toward the front. It's tipped behind Sondriel. He picks it up in the near corner. Working low to high. He'll backhand into the corner for Reeder. 2:45 to play. Saints lead 3-1 in game 3. Barron tries to go back up top. It's blocked. Fargo skates to center. Right to left. Morrissey across the Dubuque line. Left wing drops back. The shot by Fisher. Kicked down by Radler. Saints flip it ahead, and it's out to center. Saints left wing feed. Barron into the zone. Reeder cutting toward the front. Reeder in front. He tips it over the bar. It bounces in back. Gruba doesn't have a stick. 2:25 to play. Gruba in the corner all alone. Kicks the puck ahead. It's out towards center. Morrissey checked at the red line. Saints fine. Reeder dumps back in. Bounces on Slukinski. Punches it to the corner. Barron there first. Holds on behind the net. Stops on a dime. Back in front looking for Paulson, who was tipped away. And turned back ahead. 2:05 to play. Paulson forces three. Has Barron down low. Drops it back to Merrill. Top of the circle. The snapshot. Blocked by Bozer. And Fargo starts ahead. Right to left. Slukinski follows the team to the bench. Extra skater on. Left side. Swanson the rib. Shouldered away by Radler. He got to the post. And the Saints clear to center. Empty net for Fargo. 1:45 to play in the third. 3-1 Dubuque in game 3. Taylor right to left. Morrissey across the Saints line. Jumps in. Radler stops it behind. Has to poke it to the corner with Parks rushing in on. Saints move up the wall. It sneaks to center. Paulson racing after it. Taylor there first. Back ahead. 90 seconds to go in the third. Plant picks up at his own circles in front of his own empty net. Ahead for Fargo. The Saints lead by 2 with 1:23 left. Dumped in. Cross corner. Saints end. Visinen ahead. He lost it. Plant rips wide. Off the far wall. In the Saints end to the left. They try to tip ahead. They can't get out. 1:12 to play. Empty net for Fargo. Cross ice from Plant. It goes by Parks, and it's turned in behind the net. Morrissey holds on. Low to high. 1:05 to play. Right point Swanson. Down the wall for Morrissey to the side of the net. Plant looks back up top. The final minute. It goes past Swanson all the way back down. 55 seconds left in the third. Saints lead 3-1. Swanson back in his own end in front of the empty net. Starts Fargo ahead right to left. Plant on a bouncing puck in center. Backhands into the Saints end. Jubenville back for it. Hard up the near wall. Barron trying to swat ahead. Morrissey blocks it. 38 seconds left in the third period. Saints flip it ahead. Barron trying to knock the center. He's knocked down, and it goes back down low. 30 seconds left. Saints up 2. Empty net for Fargo. Jubenville forces free behind the net. Hammers up the wall, and it goes off the glass. Up out of play into the netting behind the Saints net. 25.6 seconds left in the third period. Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. Fargo leads this series 2-0. The Saints lead this game 3-1. You have to imagine you're going to get a timeout from Brett Skinner here, or even Kurt McDonald after a really long shift by the Saints. The officials are now discussing where they're going to drop this puck with 25.6 seconds left in the third period. 3-1 Saints lead, and it is a timeout from Brett Skinner, the head coach of the Fargo Force. Jen, take a breath. 3-1 Saints. They have 25.6 seconds to hold a 2-goal lead and live to see another day.
Oh. I will take you up on that, taking a deep breath. This has been just one of those hold your breath type of games the entire night, and the Fighting Saints have stepped up. You look at the first 2 games, they just had a couple mistakes here and there that cost them. That's why they're an 0-2 hole. But tonight they really haven't had those moments where they've struggled. So, and still 25.6 to go. But you get a face-off win and dump it down. You got a chance to run off a lot of clock here.
The Saints send 3 centers out on the ice. It's Sondriel, Reeder, and Paulson. Reeder probably on any other line in the league would be the center, but he plays with Jake Sondriel. The duo have had such great chemistry all year and in their Saints career. Saints in their own end, near circle to the left. Eric Paulson taking the draw against Morrissey. 25.6 seconds left in the third. Empty net for the Force in Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. Kevin Radler, who's been outstanding tonight, 23 of 24, watches to his right Extra skater on for the Force. Paulson can't win the draw. Gruba at the point. It hops on him 23 seconds. Gruba shot tipped, bouncing around out of the air, swatted away by the Saints on the goal mouth to the far wall. Sandriel crashes along, and a whistle behind the play as Scott is tied up on the ice with a Force player. 16.1 on the clock as the whistle blows. 3-1 Saints. There will be a penalty behind the play. Not quite sure who it's going to be on yet. Scott was really tied up in front of the Saints net. That was Lastarza who was mixed up with Scott with 16.1 to go in the third. The Saints still have their timeout if Kurt McDonald decides to try and slow this down a little bit. Scott being told to go to the dressing room. Lastarza also headed off the ice to the dressing room. Dylan Sater in front of the scorer's table, making the signals. 2 for slashing on Lastarza, 2 for cross-checking on Scott. And it will be 4-on-4, but Fargo has the goalie pulled to make it 5-on-4 with 16.1 to go in the third period. The Saints with Reeder and Sandriel, Jubinville and Visenen on the ice. Scott just taking the penalty, watching from the tunnel as the Saints try to kill off 16.1 more seconds. Empty net for Fargo, 5-on-4 advantage for the Force. Saints end to the left, near circle. Sandriel and Morrissey, a 3-1 Dubuque lead with 16.1 to go in the third period. Sandriel to take the face-off in his own end. He scored the crucial insurance goal in this third period for the Saints. The captain taking the face-off. It's tied up, and it's won by the Saints. Jubenville banks it all the way down the ice. It's rolling wide of the empty net. Swanson rushes back, and the icing is called with 8.8 seconds left in the third period. 3-1 Saints.
You'll take that icing because the important thing is the time runs off the clock. Fargo has to score twice in 8.8 seconds to force overtime. So if you can ice it again, you're going to take 4 or 5 seconds more off the clock. So that's huge.
Sandriel taking the face-off once more against Morrissey. 8.8 seconds to go. The Saints have to just try and tie this one up. They lead by 2. Empty net for Fargo, and it's won by the Saints to the corner. Visenen skates ahead with it, flips the center, Reeder into the zone, a shot off the side of the net, and the horn sounds as it goes into the corner. The Saints take Game 3 at home, and they extend their season to Game 4 tomorrow night in Dubuque. A 3-1 final score.
What a huge win for the Fighting Saints. They had some little doubts after going down 0-2 up in Fargo, but they came back down here and had a great week of practice. Got over those little doubts and came out strong tonight. Really had this game, did a great job all night of protecting leads, keeping Fargo from what it likes to do well, and here the Fighting Saints have a big 3-1 lead in Game 4 tomorrow night.
The Saints have forced Game 4 at home tomorrow night, and their season continues for at least one more game. It's a 3-1 final score, and the Saints win it on home ice in Game 3. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the Exit Realty post-game show for the Dubuque Fighting Saints. 3-1 Game 3 victory. And we will see you tomorrow night for Game 4. We'll come back in just a second to wrap it all up on the Saints Exit Realty post-game show. Welcome back into I'm On Arena for a Fighting Saints Clark Cup Final victory for the first time since 2013. It's the Exit Realty post-game show, and tonight it is presented by Bridget Stepanovic. You can reach Bridget, Bridget, at exitdubuque.com. And tonight's Clark Cup Final Game 3 victory has been driven by Finnan Ford and Kia. Finn and Kia, awarded by Kia America in recognition of outstanding achievement and dedication to excellence, is the official vehicle of your Fighting Saints. You're winning with Finnan, and so are the Saints tonight in Game 3 of the Clark Cup Final. They live to see another day here in Dubuque tomorrow night for Game 4. The I'm On Communications 3 stars of tonight's game. Kevin Radler, the third star, 23 saves on 24 shots. He was phenomenal tonight, and he was a big reason why the Saints held on. A big save by him led the way for the second star tonight to score insurance in the third. Jake Sondriel, the captain, he was a menace tonight. He was the Saints' best player in this game, and the Saints captain was rewarded for it. Sondriel, outstanding, a goal tonight, and it got the Saints some insurance late in this one. And the game-winning goal is the first star tonight. Seamus Powell, he scored. It was an absolutely skilled goal. Some really skilled plays by the Saints for the last two goals. And Seamus kicked the puck from his skate to his stick and was able to rip it by Hampton Slukinski. The Saints put pressure on him tonight, 31 shots, and they got enough. And the saves from Kevin Radler. Those are your I'm On Communications 3 stars. Radler with 23 Great Clips saves for service for all the regular season saves Fighting Saints goaltenders made. Great Clips made a donation to the Veterans Freedom Center on Kerper Boulevard. Kevin, in Game 2 for the first time all playoffs, gave up more than 3 goals. He bounced back in a big way tonight, 23 of 24. Every time in the regular season, the Saints won the game, outshot their opponent, and won the special teams battle to complete the Progressive Processing Hormel Completes Complete Game Challenge. Progressive Processing made donations to local food pantries in Dubuque. There were 22 in the regular season, and tonight the Saints did all 3 of those things to earn a victory and extend this season to a Game 4. And the Saints with 3 Dubuque Screw Products goals tonight on home ice to help force Game 4 tomorrow at home. So that wraps it up for the Exit Realty post-game show tonight. A humongous 3-1 win for the Fighting Saints. They came out, and it was a tight game from the start. They found a way to get one late in the first, and they carried the momentum. They held on against the Fargo push, and they scored an insurance goal in the third to make it a 3-1 final score. Game 4 tomorrow night. Hey, all tickets for tomorrow night's game are $10. Head to DubuqueFightingSaints.com right now and make sure this place is packed again tomorrow night. The crowd made a difference here tonight. It was sold out and it was loud. The Saints looking for the same tomorrow night. 3-1 Saints force Game 4 tomorrow night at home in the Clark Cup Final, and they have a chance tomorrow night to force a Game 5 and try to head back to Fargo in this series. 3-1 final score. The Saints win Clark Cup Final Game 3.